Congratulations Xazaviar for being the first redeemer of the stream.
Bonjour. How is everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy middle of our week. I believe in old culture, it's known as Hump Day. Old culture, old meme culture. Back in the day, we called it Da Hump Day. It was the middle of the week day. It was just, low key, but it was just a meme because, it's how it be. But hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Let me tell you, I have been busy. I've been quite busy with work, with just everything. I have also got good news for you guys and bad news. Good news and bad news. Good news and bad news. As it refers to the tabletop role-playing game. The good news is I have made excellent strides on the store page. And the good news is that not only will you guys soon have an interactive storefront where you guys can purchase things, and of course we could still do roleplay and such, it also meant that I'm going to break the economy soon, and that's the bad news. The bad news is that all of your guys' current money output is useless, and we have to inflate the economy a little bit. So here's what I mean. I'm going to talk about it because I am hoping that it'll be ready by Friday. By our session on Friday, I am hoping it'll be ready. But I'm just going to pull it over here so you guys can kind of see what I'm working with, and then I'll explain kind of what's going down here. So let's see here. So let's talk a little bit this. Oh no, I'm going to give you guys more money because I have to, because you guys literally will be so impoverished. So first things first, we have built a system here, or I've built a system, built an economy on a purely gold system. What that means is the only coins in the game are gold coins. The reason I did this is, one, simplicity, and two, I don't know, I just didn't like the copper silver kind of system that's in place with a lot of these things. I'm gonna adjust it so I can more. I didn't like this system in place. I like just you just got gold, this is just your flat currency. Now, in the process of doing this, though, I haven't done a whole lot of research into all the prices and setting up everything and just trying to figure out, how it translates. So I'm using Dungeons & Dragons for reference there. Now, they have a copper, silver, gold piece system. You can also see Ethereum pieces or ethereal pieces as well as platinum pieces. So I'm going to zoom this in so you guys can see it a little more. This is my calculator, right? And one problem with the only gold system, plus since I haven't taken the time to balance it for an economy, is that you guys have been paying a huge amount of money for food compared to everything else. And food should cost you pennies. Literally should cost you pennies on the dollar. It shouldn't cost you a whole lot compared to other things like armor, right? Just like IRL, right? If you buy a loaf of bread, it should not cost you somewhat close to plate mail or a full set of steel plate mail armor. That's just not realistic as well. So what I've done is this is my simple calculator here, right? And what I've done is I've looked at things on a variety of sources that put price sheets together and ideas, and I've seen some of their prices. So for example, an average meal or something might cost an average meal might cost you 2 silver pieces. Well, I've translated that what do these 2 silver pieces mean? Well, that's 20 gold. You can already see where this is going, right? So I have looked at these systems, I have adjusted them for my own rates, and decide what I wanted to do. Some of them I'm I'm gonna half cost that. Others, it's gonna be this. Yeah, effectively you guys have been overpaying for food by a huge margin, technically. So, what I've done and what we're going to do is I am adjusting the system, so it's still all gold, and we're gonna go way in depth on it. So you guys can expect that when you guys get your quests and stuff, I will have a system adjusted. So here's the bad news, is that things cost more money now, and it is even taking me some time to get used to it. let's go some examples. So, would stocks exist now? Stocks are not in this current system. So I have a master list. I am going to be adding more to these sheets. We'll get into that in a moment. But my master list, so this is, don't get too intimidated. Don't worry about the prices yet. Once again, I still need to go through and adjust them a little bit. But we currently have 432 items that you can purchase. Because I am listing everything. Just everything. So, like, for example, here I've input, if you wanted a glass of wine at an inn, then we can buy, start selling profit later. Yes. We've got a glass of wine, and glass of wine is going to cost 15 gold. There. You get a bread loaf. Your bread loaf, there's 2 gold. Easy peasy. Your meals, though. So if you want, like, a modest meal, that's going to cost you 50 gold. All right. Once again, everything's inflated a little bit. What you guys have been eating has been primarily modest meals. It gets more expensive here. If you guys wanted, like, fresh fruit, right? That's like 1 gold. If you want, 50 gold, sorry. 50 gold for the inn. Sorry. Modest meal is like 20 gold. Let me correct that. 20 gold, there. Modest meal is, or an inn. So the inn prices, which is, I've increased it a little bit. There. And this is per day. There. Modest meal, it's like 20 gold per day, right? Versus like a wealthy meal is 80 gold. There. And an aristocrat meal, well, it's 200 gold a day. Now, other things I've put in the game. So, like, your clothes, right? Here's clothes. Just buying regular common clothes, it's going to be like 50 gold. If you wanted to buy, like, some fine, fancy nobleman's clothes, it's going to be 1,500 gold. There. Here's where that, like, cloak comes in. So, dear, we could even make an argument that you technically bought, like, a specialty cloak. There. Kind of like something special in there. All right, get ready for some of the big prices, because you can see I've actually started adding some new types of armor, and I'm going to define them later, but leather armor now costs 500 gold. There. And plate mail costs 10,000 gold. I'll let that sink in and brew for a little bit. The prices go much higher. Don't you worry. But yes, when you guys think about it from a comparison standpoint, leather armor is much easier to build than it is for like a plate mail. And which is why I've also introduced half plate, scale mail, and studded leather are new additions here. And they will have some definitions to them, but you guys will be able to help on this. That's right. We got this. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to essentially next session, the economy is going to be exactly correct. And then we're going to talk about your guys' current gold and give them to you. So, for example, when she is offering you guys a 3,000 gold reward. Hey, thanks for the follow. When she's offering you a 3,000 gold reward, that's not correct anymore. Like, that's not accurate. You guys are actually getting something equivalent to 15,000 gold each. Now, just for context. There. So quite a bit more, I'm still want to adjust the weapons because the weapons are quite a bit, but they literally, the weapons range from 16 gold, which is just quarterstaff because it's a stick, all the way to 8,000 gold for a musket rifle. There. Then you've got alchemist supplies, cobbler tool, paint supplies, tinker's tools, woodcarver tools. If you guys want that dice set, 10, but playing card set, 50 gold and stuff. Still gotta adjust some of these. I haven't even put in potions yet. Over here, you'll see where you can acquire things and whatnot. We go down here. Wait until we get to the big prices. Spyglass, if you want a spyglass, it's 100,000 gold. There too. And then I have started getting into the mounts as well. So if you want like a horse, so like a regular horse is gonna be like 5,000 gold. There. And this is your draft horse that you use for pulling things. With it, I've also classified feed, which is just like 5 gold a day. So once again, with this system, it means that your guys' food prices will be cheaper, but your other prices will be much more expensive. But it'll mean that food will cost you barely anything moving forward, which is good. Then you'll need like saddles and things like that. And then we get into boats. Boats are very expensive, but if you guys want boats, depending on which boat you want, it might be like 1 million gold, 3 million gold. There, I guess you could get a rowboat for 5,000 gold. There too, just to set some prices on it. Now, in addition to this, I've also introduced services. So like if you wanted to hire someone to do something for you, or if you wanted to send a message or something, these are in here. I've also added more ores and gems. Look at all these gems. And let's talk about like things like your emeralds that you guys had for a while. Those are worth 100,000 to buy, 20,000 gold to sell. Just for context. There. And I knew once I'd hit this point, you guys would be like, wait a second. Wait a second. Can we go mining? Yes, you could go mining. There. Yeah. I figured you guys would see that and be like, oh shit. How much the Elder Dragon scales sell for? I need to put that in there still. That's kind of where I last left off. I've also added a bunch of treasure to the game too. Don't get me wrong, I ripped off some of this, but you can see some of this treasure gets like almost 1 million in value as well. So you guys can find things. You got your regular rings as well that you can find in here. And then we get into enchanting. So this is the stuff that I just did. So that soul stone is now 200 gold. And to get a lesser soul stone is 800 gold. A lot of your enchantments have substantially increased in price. There. Yes. And if you want that greater, that's 15,000 gold. There. Random question, but how many for a beast, treats, and cookies? I mean, if you're considering it like feed and things like that, actually, let's talk about that. If you're going like beast treats, almost from like a feed standpoint, it's going to cost you 5 gold a day on it. If you're talking like how much is your meat going to cost now? Here's your meat chunk raw, 4 gold. That's what I'm getting there. Here's the whole point, is that your guys' food costs like nothing compared to everything else, right? How much would my custom-made cloak cost to make it now if you did it later? It would have cost probably, but... So I have the 2 cloak costs. I would consider that a specialty cloak. It might be a regular cloak, but between 200 and 800 gold is what would have cost you, dear. Now, I do want to say here that we're not just going to start the session and then you guys just have your current money, right? I am increasing your existing funds right now. You guys will be coming in like our economy has always been like this. I want to be very clear on this, that I am increasing your guys' money too. I have to do the exact calculation, but I think we're probably going to land on, we're just going to 5x whatever you guys currently have. So whatever you guys current money you have times 5 is your new money source. Oh, do we have a list of all enchantments now? Lady. I'm just gonna zoom down here for a second. You can see here, you see purple enchanter. Yes, I have listed all of the enchantments so far, and there will be more as we go throughout. But yes, there are almost 200 rows of enchantments, I think. Let's double check this. I can actually tell you exactly how many. There are, in this, 155 unique enchantments listed here. 155. And with that, some of them are still generic. So for example, like Bane of Beast, because it's a specific beast, I'm not going to list all the beasts in the game. No, you get a specific Bane of that beast there. So like even this enchantment's like times 50 or something there. But yes, I have listed every single enchantment clearly with what they do, and how much they cost there. So you guys can see exactly what it is. And the point is, I'm going to have another sheet here at the bottom that you guys will be able to come onto and do your shopping from, where you just search up an item or an enchantment or something like that, and it will just put it on there. There is Bane of Demon, actually, specifically. There's actually 2 kind of Banes of Demons. So first off, Let's go to Bane. Bane of just general demon would be the same cost as Bane of humanoid. But if it's a pure blood demon, so one of those specialty demons, you got to pay a little bit more. So like this Bane of demon costs 40,000 gold to enchant your weapons with. Now, let's also add to this. You guys are going to also start to figure out new items, and you guys will be able to find magic items as well. Their sell prices are also calculated here. So if you found a Bane of Demon Pureblood enchanted sword, all you'd have to do is take this 8,000 gold and find what it's enchanted on. I'm gonna scroll all the way up. So like if it's enchanted on a long mace, right? 8,000 plus 160 gold is how much money you would make from selling that specific item. There, so I've put sell prices for everything here because then you guys can easily input things and mark them as well. I'll do a training on this or a teaching on how to use this in a bit, and then we'll get feedback and slowly craft it. But I just want you to know that we're making, yes, there is actually a Bane of God enchantment. It costs $500,000 to purchase, but it does exist. And it would be indeed, it would just extra fuck up like Valatrus or any gods you guys are fighting and stuff. It's not cheap, but it's there. But yeah, you guys can see all these enchantments. Here's that skill taming, +5 to action rolls associated with taming actions. Normally it'd be 8,000 gold. There. It's only in this specific city. That's why it's specialty here. So it's a specific area. But now this skill exists in the game. And as we do other skills and you guys find other specialty enchantments, I will add them to this list and mark it. So like we've got this special one, which is Bane of Orcs and Affliction Poison there, which is what is on Yas's sword currently. And you'll find it here. How much are bard weapons? So I don't have the prices put in place there. Plus I want to adjust the weapons right now. I'm not happy with all the prices because it's pretty far spread too, but I want to adjust it. So I don't have an answer for you right now, dear, on that. I just want you guys to know that this is coming. Where I last left off, I was literally updating the ores in the game. Bars, steel, ethereum, dragon steel. Here's even dragon scale that I was putting here, so I was just there. Maybe you can't get a special loot from this heist. Maybe you can. But I want you to know that don't be intimidated by the prices you see, except for things like 15,000 gold. Probably be a little bit intimidated by like super high prices like 20,000 gold or $500,000. I am going to inflate your guys' money too, so that you guys have it, and it'll be like we were always in this system. So I just want you to be aware of that it will come, but you can also have things to look forward to as well. That if you want particular enchantments or particular findings, you can find them. I also gotta adjust these. These are specialty as well. This is the town size. So like every large town could do an affliction stun there. And I've also done some slight renaming, but for example, if you guys wanted to add to your weapons affliction wound, you can do this. It's 8,000 gold, but now every single one of your regular attacks have 10 plus will inflict a wound too. So just to give you guys apps there. I also do have axes and pickaxes and shovels and so many tools. Like here's your carriage, your cart, your chariot. You got a wagon, you got a sled, you got a galley on it. Here's a signal whistle. Here's your tent cost. Like everything. It's now not called fire starters, they're called tinder boxes as well. So like we've got it all. We've got it all in here, which is why this sheet has almost 500 things you could buy. Can you add enchantments on enchantments? No. So you can only enchant things once. But yes, you need some invest in high ordnance explosives for sure. I should also say, just for your guys' reference, group one, that while you do have that quest, there isn't a time set on the quest. So if you guys wanted to side quest, do other things too, you can. It's just that quest exists, basically. I just want to be very clear on that too. Is there a slot for enchantment item? When you say enchantment item, Group two, yes. Your guys' current quest is timed because you guys agreed, like, you guys would do it the next night. You guys could decide just to not do that. But yeah, that is the one that's currently timed on it. But you guys will have a whole day before that quest starts. So yes, I just want you guys to be aware of that, like, you've got some time and such. I still need to do some work on this. I want all the flavor text for everything. Don't get me wrong, I chat GPT'd it. And I'm gonna chat GPT all this flavor text too. On it, so you guys will know what everything does, what it's there for. But one of the things I'm excited for is because I've added this entire loot section here, we now have a system in place that I can just dice roll your guys' loot too. Is there a pet store? Yeah, in a sense. So, like, it's a stable. A stable is primarily going to be where you buy your pet-related items and such. There are specialty shops. So, for example, like this sled, you got to get it at a specialty shop. So, like, not every town is going to be able to sell you sleds or make sleds. But if you go to winter towns, they're going to be more available for you. Which is why, even in small towns, you could find sleds there. But yes, there are, like, stables are where you're going to find things like your feed, as well as general stores, too. So, like, you'll find stuff. But the whole point is you guys won't have to individually search through items here. There's going to be another sheet where you just select what store you're in and what size town you're in, and it'll list what items are available for sale. I will also adjust that sheet so you guys can haggle, and we can adjust prices, too, just on the fly. There, I'll just put in, like, a price modifier there for a discount. Yeah, there's a pet store selling pigs. That's true. What else is described as special shops? So, specialty shops are... the definition I have for specialty shops are just unique stores and places within certain cities. Let's go for an example here. We've got boats here. All of the big boats are listed as specialty shops. What's important here is that you're not going to be able to purchase a boat unless it has a shipping yard, right? That is the specialty shop. It's got to have a shipping yard there. So those who are in Perle right now, Perle has a shipping yard. So you could, in theory, if you had the money, purchase a boat from them, and they could make a boat for you. It's not instant, but it's something there. That's kind of what it means by specialty shop. So something like flower shop, veggie cart shop would be a specialty shop. Actually, no. A flower shop and a veggie shop, those fall into usually trader market. So like a scale merchants market. So there's trader markets in bigger towns, and where traders are able to set up shop there and they can sell items there. That is going to be more of your, like, there. So like some towns, not every town has them, but there are some specialties. So I'll talk about another one here. So Enchanter, we have like greater speed here. Most all, like, you'll see Enchanters listed for large for pretty much everywhere because you got to go to like a large city to find an Enchanter. But some of them are listed specialty because you can only find this enchantment in specific large cities as well. So I want to bring there. Will there be trinket shops? Yes. I mean, there's trinket shops. There's going to be kind of everything there. Right now, I have listed for general, like, purposes. Let's see if I can pull here so you can see it more. This is, like, the sources of stuff. So you got your general store, your blacksmith, enchanter, tavern, jeweler, runesmith, which I haven't even gotten into runes yet. You've got your alchemist, your tailors, your trader market, your castle there, which usually castle means you'll get it either you could get it from a castle or the town has to have a castle to quantify having it. Traveling merchant, so if you guys are out on the road, these are things traveling merchants will tend to have. Black market, so if the city has a black market, these are some things you could find in the black market. Specialty shop, this is like, I'll tell you if it's a specialty shop there. You've got stable, and then ruins and mines as well. So we've got a lot. There's a lot to keep track of it, and there's things here like you'll see here if you want to get a bejeweled ivory drinking horn with gold filigree that's valued at $750,000 for a purchase price, but you could sell it for $150,000, you're probably going to find it in a castle or some ruins somewhere. Like, that's where it's going to be. So that's where a lot of these happen. Also, like, if you're going mining or something and you want a topaz, you're going to find it at a jeweler, or you're going to find it in some mines as well, too. And you can see here that some of the gems, as they become more valuable, right, the type of city that they're even available in will drop, because smaller cities are just going to have less. And not every medium-sized city has a jeweler on it as well. And you won't find jewelers in small cities, which is why it's like the smallest as well. Black market Splunky reference? Yeah, basically. Essentially. Yes, so I just want you guys to know I'm making good progress on this. There's a lot to kind of keep track of, but it is making progress. So as soon as I get this up and running, which I'm hoping by Friday, I will share it with everyone, and then we'll do some testing and play around with it too, so that you guys can see how it goes, and just let me know how you feel about it. So that's basically the gist of it. I just wanted you guys to be aware that this is in progress. I didn't forget. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot of planning, and I easily have another 100 things I'm adding to that list. Yeah, you could be scrolling there exactly instead of the guidebook. And what's going to be better, lady, is that you could just search things. Like, I'm going to make it super searchable so that you guys could just go in and just be like, bloop, found it. Bloop, found it. Like, just as simple as that. So that anytime you needed to look up prices or anything, you could do that. But the intent of the platform and the intent of me doing this is so that, one, I don't have to pull up the prices from research or my ass. And two, dear, you're exactly right. How much does this sell for? Yeah, I just have a sheet where you guys can do your transactions on, where you can sell and buy. And you just go in, you sell it, you're good. That's what what the main purpose is, so that when we do shopping episodes, everybody can shop at the same time, especially if it's just general shopping, without me interrupting the flow of it, and we could just continue the story. I hope that makes sense to everybody, and I hope that works. Some other things. So let's talk about streams. Let's talk about streams for the month too, because I took the time today, and I got posted all of the events coming up. All the streams for the rest of the month have been posted. It sounds like we're already changing this stream, so more to follow. In fact, I'm just gonna delete it. We'll cancel the event, and I'll follow up later on it. But yes, we've got more streams. Need to watch old streams? Yes, let's talk about that. I would love it if you guys could see here, I have a form that I posted as well. I don't know if you can even see the screen too. I want to make sure you can. We got here, these are the community award nominations. Now, I did have it in here just for clarity that you could originally upload a meme and a piece of art, but then that required you to sign in, and it would track your name attached to the upload. So I'm like, okay, just put information in. But this is just, anybody can fill this out at any time. You guys can fill it out multiple times, just as you have ideas. And then what I'm going to do is probably like a week before the stream, so around Christmas time, I'm going to post another form where you guys will be able to vote on it. You guys will be able to vote on stuff that you think are your favorites, based on what everybody else inputted there as well. And it won't be like you're voting on 10 things. It's going to be voting on like what I see as kind of like the top 3 to 5 things for each. You don't have to fill out everything. Everything on here is optional. In fact, I could submit a blank thing. But if you guys are going through streams or you're thinking of stuff, just even if you're thinking back on the year, you could think about like, oh yeah, I remember this happening. You could put that information here and I will go find it. I will try to find like these moments and clip it so that we can watch it together stuff. So I just wanted you to know that there. Well, I know Apple and probably know your name, but I also want to make sure that other people don't feel like they need to attach their name to everything, too. So please take some time to fill this out. It helps me, and probably in like a week and a half, I'll follow up on it. But I figure, you know what, why not? We could do some fun, like, stream awards and stuff, like best tabletop dice roll moment being the moment that you guys remember most. Like, what was the most clutch dice roll, or what was the most funny? And don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of recency bias here. Like, we're probably all gonna remember the 3 rolls from Salty, the constant 3 rolls, and then Salty rolling 20s following when he needed them. It was only a 3 or a 20. Like, that's a very funny moment and such. So you guys could suggest that, or suggest other ones as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and find the clips so that we can vote on them. And then at the end of the year, we will look and award all of these rewards here. When I say best art piece, I mean like best community, like what was everybody's favorite drawing or picture made this year as well. What was the best meme that somebody posted this year? What was my saltiest moment? Which, by the way, a reminder, I did play Dark Souls this year, so there's more than there should be on it. So you guys could throw out here, you guys could call me out my lowest IQ moments and stuff, or best character development moment, which is either like your guys' characters, me developing, whatever you guys interpret these as, is what I'm going to throw it in here. But I figured, you know what, why not just celebrate us, celebrate the year, and kind of do a nice kind of rewind, look back, haha, YouTube reference. Anyway, so I just wanted to throw that out there as well, that is coming up, as well as all the other streams too. We've got quite a few planned for this month, and we'll figure it out, all leading up to the final stream of the year, which will be our New Year's Eve stream, and I'm really looking forward to it, bringing in the new year with you guys. I've got things I'm ready to announce. We could do our reflections on the year, see how we tracked on goals. Not well, by the way. We tracked on goals, and set some new goals for the next year. That's kind of my envisionment there. Then Dave being salty. I think that's valid to put in there, to say Dave being salty. That could be the salty. I don't mind if you guys put other people's salty moments too. That'd be funny. But yeah, that was, I just wanted to bring those small housekeeping items up before we hop it in too. So I am trying web fishing again, and I'm gonna take a bet that I don't have it on full screen. All right, this is, I have it on my partial screen here. So I'm hopeful that it will actually work just fine. Hopeful. Pray to RNGesus that it'll work and we can just play. So I'm just gonna host a server, and you guys are welcome to join, and if I disconnect you, I'm already sorry. Should I say we're 18 plus? Probably. Let's see, there's public and code only, is that what it is? Let's see. Code only, public but not visible in the game browser, while still allowing players to join via code and game invites. What do we do here? Because I'll do there. Code only, is it? I think that's it, right? Oh yeah, we do code only. I'm so dumb, guys. All right. Yeah, code only. So it's not just here. You guys just join from the code. All right. Cool. We'll start the game. I should try Pumpkin King Panic. What is Pumpkin King Panic? Or Pumpkin Panic? The server is marked as 18 plus by the host. By clicking accept, you accept her over the age 18. Yeah, that's right. All right, my koi boy. Oh my gosh, I haven't played in so long. We'll have to see if I remember how to play. In either case, let me get you guys show lobby code. Here's the lobby code. Pumpkin Panic. I'll take a look. There's the lobby code. Friends only also works. Oh, that's nice. Well, it's just in case. There, I'm gonna post this in our game chat. Web fishing code. Let's throw that there. There we go. Maybe I'll make a small edit. There you go. All right. Let's see. been a minute since I've fished. Request board. Oh, I get to claim some rewards. What is this title? Strongest warrior title cosmetic. Nice, because I got a swordfish. Excellent. Excellent. Well, let's go fishing. How do we play again? Oh yeah, diving. Dive. We dive. Spam. All right. Should I go ocean fishing? I kind of feel like ocean fishing. I know, it's insane that it's been a year. And what a year it's been, right? Like, it's been a pretty insane year, just with everything changing. You know, new job, new circumstances, figuring out everything in between. It's been quite a year. It's chaotic, but it's been a good year. It's been a good year, honestly, overall. I feel quite happy. My wife and I have had a chance to really bond a lot this year and figure out that, like, you know what? We do just love each other and want to spend every single second with each other.
Did you need to figure that out?
I mean, you're right. I didn't need to figure it out. It was just kind of like a convenience thing, I guess. I'm glad we did figure it out. Yes, I didn't know that I loved you before, but now I know that I love my wife. Why do you want me to say that? Of course.
I'm getting a little mad.
You're getting a little mad. I, of course, love you. I've always loved you. You've been my number...
It took you to this year.
But it only took me 7 years of marriage to figure it out. No, I think we figured out our priorities and just how we like to focus our time.
I don't want to throw at you.
You don't know what to throw at me? I'm gonna get a pillow thrown at me. There you go. It worked. Confirmed. But I love you a lot, and I look forward to our nights. Fair. Oh, but yes, it's been busy. It's been a busy year. I'm just feeling, you know, I wanted to do some web fishing today, primarily because I'm, like, tired. It's been long weeks, and this has been the first day in, like, 3 weeks that I haven't just had constant things with work. And it's just kind of nice to be like, yeah, I'll take a beat. I'll take a beat back. I gotta get some better fish, though. I'm only getting these 1-star fish. I'm gonna lose all my mackerels in a second. How lucky. I found a coin bag as well. Boop. Can we fish on the same spot? Deer, your deer looks really cool. The super duper rare golden ray. Oh, I gotta catch the super duper rare golden ray. There's so many fish, but, you know, that's the thing, too. It's not a rush. We don't have to rush catching fish at all. We can just enjoy the time spent. I've got my hot chocolate here today. And it's good. Oh, I'm getting good fish. Oh, damn. Smash through those bars. Big fish. What do we got? 2 stars. We caught a glistening weed. Guys, I caught some weed. Oh, there's my fish. I gotta get it. All right. Wait. Ah! Don't push me in the water. All right. One second. I'm gonna get my fish. This buddy is empty. I'm not talking to this buddy. I'm talking to this buddy. This buddy's not empty. This buddy is not empty. It has fish. Found flounder. Hello, pink. Bam. Ah, the other one. Oh, it pulled me in. You're a star scout? I'm only a tenderfoot. Although I've only played that one time. So figuring out, what the fuck? That's a big old squid. Honestly, it's cool and funny to see lady changes. Yeah, I mean, I saw that posting you had where it showed your old lady meeting the new lady. And all I could think is, like, they've grown up so much, you and Puppy. We've grown up and changed over time, but I think that's important to recognize, is that we as people change over time, too. Right? And that's a part of life, is we gotta grow and change. I saw one of the things, that, you know, they talk about this from, like, oh! Small manta ray? That was a big-ass manta ray. Anyway, what I'm getting at is change is important. You want to change. You want to be dynamic. Oh, fuck, I have no beta attached. I'm such a scrub. Anyway, yeah, change is important. Understanding, like, what you care about and what matters to you, but even more so, just understanding that the world changes and it's okay to change with it. I think something that's kind of hard for people to understand, particularly I'm going to call it our TikTok, or not TikTok. Well, I guess TikTok could be their Twitter evangelists that like look at people's like post history and they're like, but at one point in time they said this. Yeah, sometimes that's valid, but at other times it's really not. People change, views change, like it's just, there's change in the world and it's okay. And if we close the doors on people changing, then it just makes people afraid to change, right? Because they're always going to be held back on stuff. It's the same way. We change our characters, we change our view of ourselves. And in a way, lady, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I assume that in a way you've seen yourself change too, not only through the RPG, but as kind of like your persona has changed a little bit too, and that's cool as fuck. I know I've changed. I've become a different person this year. I'm completely different. But it's also like priority shifts, right? I've just got different focuses now too. I haven't admitted it yet, but like I don't have time for YouTube. Like I don't feel like I have time to actually like make YouTube videos and stuff, which is a bummer. But I became a furry. Yes, I did become a furry. That is a change that was made to full fursuit. You guys are like, you've changed. You've both same time. But yeah, change is good. Change is good. And seeing the change that others are making is always good too. It's also on the same token, I always think about like improvement, right? You want to constantly be improving, constantly be just adapting there, and that's exciting. You're also completely and utterly a different person, which is fine. You know, honestly, I think changing a little bit each year is important for our growth and development. There's also always that phrase or such that talk about like, well, every 7 years, all the cells in our body change and we become literally a different person. Yeah, sure. But I think it's the more steady changes that really adjust us, that really like level us to think about like what's important in life. As we change our priorities, as we change our focus, I think that's big. And I think that's good. I also, on the same, oh damn, I got a hammerhead shark. Anyway, I also think it's cool to like recognize the change in others and see like, oh, they used to do this and now they've adjusted their mindset, their approach to things. That's cool as fuck. I think it's all just a win-win on it. Oh man, I caught a large angelfish. Nice. Oh, I am a second class scout. Nice. I mean, I am gonna be like a star scout soon. No, I gotta be first class after that. There, IRL Pete meet. Yeah, one of is actually playing. That's actually really cool too. But here's the thing about it as well. Like, we were watching, my wife and I were watching a video last night, and it was talking about like Disney adults, which sure, there could be levels of cringe with it, but honestly, if you look at any hobby and you dive deeper into the people that are like way into the hobby, sure, it can look like cringe from the outside, but honestly, we should be more looking at that as, wow, those people have found happiness that is hard for people to find and hard for people to accept. Damn. I've caught a new creature, a large marlin. And honestly, that's kind of what something I've looked at this year. I know I've talked about it almost every single year on like, you know, this year I'm going to focus on happiness. I think I did it this year. Genuinely. Instead of being stressed, I know you guys have talked about and you're like, oh, Zaz isn't caring about viewers anymore. He's not caring about gaining followers. I'm not, because I'm happy. I'm content. Would it be fun for us to have a lot more followers? Maybe. And I only mean maybe on it. But you know what is fun right now? Our size. We get to game together. We get to joke around together. We get to explore stuff. If we had like 200 more people here, this room would be so full and stuff that like no one would be able to join web fishing. People would feel left out. And I'm like, I don't feel like we have that issue. and such. I can talk with you guys like individually as well as like as a group there. So I'm like, I'm into it. You low-key liking the idea of dressing up as Lady? Do it! If you do and you feel comfortable on it, I'd love to see that cosplay. That'd be sick as fuck. Actually, here's a funny thing. Don't get me wrong. I am the type of person that I'm a forever game master, right? I recognize that. That's fine. I'm not gonna like debate and fight that. But I kind of am a little jealous that you guys get all these fun, cool characters, and I'm like, I don't have a character. Ooh, I got a sea turtle. Nice. I'm like, I don't have my own character. And I'm like, I don't even know what character I'd want made as well. I mean, honestly, this is no joke, but like Deer is playing my character in a way. He's playing his own way, which is good there, but like I would 100% be the bardic warrior. Be that character. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck you up with my horn. And that was a character I made for me as well. And I do get to like create NPCs you guys interact with and stuff, which is fun. But you know, those are temporary. You only see them for a short period of time and then they go away for the most part. There. You always had the idea of cosplay in your head? Yeah, it's kind of hard. It can be tricky. It'd be tricky, but I'm certain you could figure out the construction of it too. Exactly, Salty. That's what it's always gonna be. So here's the thing though, Lady. Doing a Game Master NPC or Game Master player character is just not as fun for the other players, right? Because it feels like, let me phrase it this way. If I played an NPC or I played my own player character with you guys and I made any suggestion on how to do things, it would be so much, it would feel like I'm just giving you hints or I'm telling you that we have to do the story one way or another. I think it's important. Wow! There's the sunfish. I think it's important to keep the separation there. I get to play the NPCs, right? I get to do that interaction and I get to roleplay with each of you guys as you guys interact with the world. And that's fun. But if I was also a character that was, like if I was also a player, that would take away from your guys' experience. Honestly, like I only see it as like, even if I suggest something like kind of randomly too, it would feel like I'm kind of railroading you guys. And I don't want to do that. I want you guys to truly have the experience that you want to have with it, which is you get that little bit of exploration, you get that discovery, you get all the mystery, while at the same time, you guys have a story. There's an overarching story going on, of course, but you guys get to choose your direction on it, and you get to choose how it goes, and I get to play the part of figuring out how to make it make sense. That's all it is. Just I try to make things make sense in the confines of the story. Oh, should I even do crickets? You know what? I don't even want to do crickets. Stuff. So I've thought about that, but honestly, I just can't do it. I don't want to, because I don't want to, like, bring down your guys' experience, is my thought. Like, I don't want to do that. I want you guys to have the best experience you possibly can. And so I'm always going to defer, and oh, I should go get some upgrades. Yeah, I'm always going to defer to just trying to make sure that I'm giving you guys the best experience. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to coordinate 10 people's stories and stuff, but it still works. And I enjoy that part a lot. I enjoy kind of being behind the scenes while also like finding ways to integrate each of your stories and make it interactive. I already have like multiple bulleted lists on when I'm going to introduce things to you guys, as well as like just when stuff's going to come up. Oh, you threw me away. Yeah, I want rod catch chance. Oh, let's see here. I should get some of this stuff. Higher chance of catching treasure and garbage. What does it seem there? Like, I like this one because it just makes it quicker. Efficient lure. Chance to not consume the bait on catch. That's kind of nice. At least one catch of each creature in the journal in any quality. Okay. I should do these upgrades too. Yeah, let's just increase the quality. Quality of the fish. All right. Wait, where the fuck am I? All right, well. I guess I'm in the void now. I live here in the void, and that's fine. You punch me into oblivion, I see that, and that's fine, that's valid. This is where I belong, in the void, until I can't be in the void anymore. Yeah, so I will probably never do a game master player character, because I want to make sure I keep in your guys' experience pure in that way. Like, you guys get to have the best of the best. And that's where I feel. You've met your people for real. I feel that too. I feel like I have. And that's the thing. You guys all radiated to this community because we found, like, common interests, right? Your parents are talking about moving. That does go... moving's hard. Moving's always, like, anxiety-inducing, too. Are you, like... If you don't mind me asking, how far of a move, Pink? Are you guys talking, like, moving states, just moving cities, staying within the same city, just moving somewhere else? Like, there, because, yeah, moving's it's a big thing. There's so much to it. Pretty far down. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's so much, just... It's hard. Sometimes you gotta move for space, gotta move for there. It's far to you. I mean, here's the thing. There can be a lot of differences in those changes. And honestly, even moving like an hour away, right, from city to city is just a whole different life change. Moving is just life changes, but there's a lot to consider with it, and no matter what, it's always scary. Plus, moving sucks. Needing to pack up everything, organize stuff, and then unpack it. God, it sucks. Like, I hate moving. The thought of moving is awful. And this is now, since getting married, the longest my wife and I have stayed in a single place. Like, we have lived in this house for just over 3 years now, which is the longest I've been in a place since before I got married, too. I mean, when I was younger kid, I stayed in, like, the same house for 12 years? I think 12 years? And such. But beyond that, yeah, just my whole adult life, I've moved so frequently. And I'm glad to have some roots there. You're unhappy since it's blocking your hope of have a good summer vacation with your bestie. Oh. That does make it hard, but hear me out, Pink. Let's take a look at it this way. When you get older, you do see people less. But it's building those kind of like long-term friendships that are like key. And honestly, it's fine. Like, I have some friends, and you guys have met them in chat sometimes. You know, they're a completely different state, and it's like 8-hour drive to see each other, but we're still friends. And it's putting the effort to see each other. Depending on how far you're moving, Pink, I mean, get in the car and drive. Go see each other. Make a plan, too. Like, if the relationship's important enough, you will maintain it. Internet friends is all you've ever known? I mean, that's fair. It is fair, and it's hard. And yeah, it's hard, but at the same time, it's like part of growing up and moving is making changes and getting used to it. People are very change adverse. Just humans in general are very change adverse. I say this at work all the time, so it's a little, I'm irritated with myself saying it, but we're change adverse, which means when change happens, we will do everything in our power to stop it. Like, stop and resist the change. But still, at the same time, it means that when change, when change happens, you can really get to experience cool things. You get to see better things, and you get to just a glistening huge turtle. It was quite the hurdle. That wasn't a huge turtle, but all right. Anyway, change is scary because you just don't know what's going to happen. But if the relationships are important enough, you can maintain them. It takes effort. I know as someone who, has ADHD and is like the memory of a goldfish at times. If I don't see someone actively, it's very easy for me to just be like, they exist somewhere in the ether and I'll find them one day. Like that just happens as well. And that's life as well. It's just how it goes, but it's okay because you can find new friends, you can find new people. There's always a sense of like, humans also have a sense of belonging, right? We want to belong somewhere. We want to be with people, which means we will naturally gravitate and find people that accept us, and people that we accept, and we tend to stick around with them. You don't? I mean, that's fair. I mean, but in reality, yeah. Ooh, I got to first class. Damn. All right. No, you know what? I keep fishing here. No reason to just go exploring everywhere. But we do. Here's the thing. Even if we say we don't want to, and I've met people that, they're adamant that they don't like other people, they don't see other people. Even if we say that, we do. We're social creatures. We need some form of interaction. It doesn't mean that the levels of interaction we need are the same. And even the degree. I was seeing a story recently about a kid, and this is one of those fears of AI kind of thing, who got really invested in his AI girlfriend, right? And this is something that I genuinely worry about for my kids in the future, because you can find it, just talking with something and it feels like you relate, even if it's not real in a sense, can be enough for humans. And I'm worried that my children will choose to make AI connections over human ones because they can kind of control it a little bit and make it perfect. And that's there. You don't need a friend, they disappoint you. That's, I understand. And I'm sorry that you have found people in the past that have disappointed you. I have too. I don't think I've talked about some of my bad stories, but there are people out there that will disappoint you. There are people out there that will not prioritize you. Hopefully those people are just acquaintances and friends and not family members, but it could be honestly anyone. And hopefully it's not a relationship, but you will also find people that care about you, that want to invest as much into the relationship as you want to invest. And you might even find people that want to invest more too. And it can be difficult. It can be tricky to balance that, especially if you've been hurt before by its stuff. And it's easy to oh, it's a meme reference. Oh, you're right. I didn't get the meme. Sorry. All right. Now I'm digging too deep on a topic that's irrelevant. Either case, people are, they're there. We like people and we want to be around people, and it's okay to understand who your people are and how you want to change and be around them. And also it's okay to say, I don't want to be around you anymore. I think you're a bad person for me. You even feel like you've been keeping the gears going. They're more than just a friend, had a horrible interaction. Yeah, there are relationships, you got to look at the effort, right? And it should be a valid effort. Welcome to the game. You want to keep the valid effort going, right? You want to make sure that you're not over-investing in someone that is not invested or interested in talking or interacting with you as well. Because otherwise it's just a drain, relationship drains. And that's not good for anybody in the situation. But the truth of it is, you won't know that about any relationship unless you take the risk. It can be scary, but yeah, it takes the risk. You met our silly animation website, grow to lore together, and sadly there was years that got separated. Yeah, I'm nostalgic for college because I do miss my friends. I miss the interactions. I miss the simplicity of like proximity and being around. But you know what? Having that little bit of sadness, that little bit of missingness of them and just that kind of part of my life means that that part of my life was significant. It was important. It was impactful. And I would absolutely do it over again. Right? If you don't miss something, then it wasn't important. Right? Backstabbers exist. You hate high school. Fucking high school. High school just sucks ass. Just in general. Middle school too. Like, middle school's almost worse than high school, but it's there. I'm with you, Pink. You're stuck on the bads. Your life. It's... So there is this thing called, like, negative attribution bias, which basically means we as humans tend to apply higher thresholds or higher strength, or I don't know how to say another word than attribution. We tend to attribute more greatly to negative things that have happened to us than we do the positive things, which means we also tend to remember the negatives more than the positives. And it can, it lingers on us, right? And it's important to remember that there are always going to be good times. There's always going to be bad times, no matter what age, no matter what time it is. And sometimes it's okay to just recognize that are in a bad time, knowing that a good time is coming. Not to get all Katy Perry on you, but after there's a storm, there's always a rainbow. Because, baby, you're a firework. You're too good to get backstabbed. Valid. You guys say, look at Instagram. Yeah, I'm with you. Forgiving yourself is super hard. Yeah, we're the hardest people to forgive, right? Is ourselves. Recognizing that we've made mistakes and things like that, it's super hard to do, but it's important. It's important for growth. It's important for change, which is how we all got here. We were talking about change. Well, I mean, there are things in life. I don't always like to look at life through a I deserve this or I don't deserve this aspect, because that gives an implication of almost like karma on a system. And yeah, there's some sense of I can believe some karma in the world, but it's mostly, I usually believe karma in the sense of like, if you do something good to someone, they're more likely to reciprocate and do something good to you. Likewise, if you do something bad to someone, something bad's probably coming your way. Not like, oh, if I give this person a compliment, I can expect to find $10 on the ground later. No, that's not how that works. But in general, in life, if you go through life trying to be the best version of yourself, then you're going to find people that care about that version of you. I've always heard this advice, and, you know, it takes years, honestly, to really piece it together and understand what it means. But whenever they say getting to a relationship, always be yourself, right? You always hear that. That's always the advice. Be yourself. Be that person. That's because you're going to, if you prioritize yourself, if you prioritize your well-being, you're going to recognize when somebody else isn't. When somebody else is toxic or they're not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. Right? And when you put that effort into yourself and you focus on like, who am I as a person? Then you know when you found somebody that truly cares. That truly matters. That's how I know I have the perfect wife. Because we both love each other for exactly who we are as people. And we have changed. As relationships grow, people change. And it's very true that sometimes in relationships you grow apart. because your priorities shifted, because you changed differently. My wife and I were very fortunate that we changed and grew together. We've always grown together. We've always been with each other. And a huge part of that is because we've always known who we were and who we wanted to be, who we wanted to become. And there's this other aspect that I, as a person, I want to get better for her. I want to be better. I want to be the best version of myself for her, for my kids, for my family, because I love them. And that's all there needs to be to it. And a lot of times, like, I always tell people that the best relationships are the ones where you guys are focused on each other's needs first. Because if you're always focused on each other's needs, then everybody's needs get taken care of. All the time. That's just how it is. Pink, you're absolutely right. Drifting is sad. It is sad when you drift away from each other, but once again, that sadness is because it was important. It doesn't mean it's always important, right? Like, it's not always gonna be important, and it's okay to recognize that and say, you know what? There was a time in my life where we were the right people for each other, and now there isn't. Hello, Mr. Slugcat. How are you doing? Too. People pleasing is a whole nother aspect. Don't get me wrong. I am a chronic people pleaser. I love people pleasing. But yes, it's hard. Well, yes, I guess I wasn't implying that you weren't good or anything like that, but yes. Mr. Slugcat, welcome to the game. Come, join us, have fun. There. Oh, man. It's challenging. It's there. Hello, Mora. Talking about life. We're diving, you know what, I'm not even gonna wait until, like, last minute of stream. No, we're just diving in right at the beginning. No, here's the thing that's really, how do I say, tricky. Very, very tricky. People, I'm trying to phrase this the right way. Everyone is allowed to be their own individual person, right? We all recognize that. But sometimes when we think about people, and when we think about, like, how people interact, we want to have this kind of sense of understanding of, like, where they're going to go. And ideally, because of our adversity to change and our fear of change, we want people to stay the same. We want to know that they're always going to be there. They're always going to do the same thing. I like to compare this another way to, you guys remember the good old days of playing Halo or Black Ops, right? They were good old days. They were days that were really cool for a time. But things changed. New games came out. The groups changed. Some people signed off on systems and never signed back on, too. That's how it goes. And that's okay. And it's because we as people are individuals. We're all individuals, and we are all special and unique in our own way. And we're also all the main characters in our own stories. And for that to happen means that sometimes people are going to change in a way that is going to adversely affect relationships. That's just what it is. And that's entirely valid. And it's okay to recognize the value of everybody's popping in at once. It's okay to recognize the value of that relationship. Hello, Mr. Slugcat. It's perfectly fine to recognize that that relationship held value for a while. And it was good. You learned something from it. And it was impactful and it meant something. And feeling that kind of sadness and that, like, that feeling of, like, loss, in a sense, means that it was important. And that we shouldn't fear that. We should embrace it and say, you know what, this is cool. I'm glad that this happened. Even if it ended with you guys drifting apart, or if a relationship ended with just people changing. That's fine. Yeah, there's a lot that can happen in the world, but that's all good. Yeah, there's so much that comes into it, and hopefully we all find people that change with us. I've seen the change mentioned too, like people that talk about like YouTube creators that stick to the same content, or even more so people that say, oh, they change their content. Well, yeah, because people change, the world changes, things change. Also, particularly if they're YouTube content creators, they have to change to stick with the content to stay relevant. Otherwise, they go away, they go by. Too. Like, that's how it works. And that's fine. That's entirely valid. And I think what I'm trying to get at, long story short of the tangent, is that it is entirely valid for people to change. And if we recognize that everybody's an individual and that everyone's allowed to change, then we also have to accept that sometimes that change doesn't work for us, and that's okay. And rather than lingering on that, it's best to just keep doing what's right, and then sometimes it's right to move on. When I did therapy a long while ago, one of the first things that my therapist and I worked on together was my stress attribution. And what I mean by that is I tended to take on the stress from every single person I interacted with and from the world. And I'd take all of it on internally to myself and be so stressed out. And it was almost all stuff that I had no control over, nothing I could change about it. And something was pointed out to me. It was like, why am I worrying about, or why am I fixated on stuff that I can't control? I can't change, right? Like, I am like pre-worrying about things for no reason. Made only worse by the fact that there's nothing I can do about it. If a meteor hits the Earth tomorrow, why am I stressed about it? I can't change it. It's gonna hit the Earth regardless. And I don't, what can I do? So instead, I should be stressed about the things I can change and I want to change as well. The things that I have control over. That stuff can stress me, and that could be good stress. Good stress, by the way, to get into your topics, there is positive stress and bad stress too. We often know about the bad stress, but there's eustress, which it's not eustress. There, it's I think it's EU is the spelling, but it's positive stress that is like good for us, that makes us motivated to go do something in that kind of sense, like these kind of like natural stressors too. Fixating on that kind of stuff is good. It's good for us. It's healthy for us to be like, okay, this is a good thing. I'll throw it in another context. Hyperfixations or projects or things or games that just make us feel happy and good. Don't Starve Together is a perfect example of this. It constantly is bringing stressors, and you could look at the wolves as a bad thing, right? Like, these wolves are horrible. They're going to kill you. They're going to ruin your run. Or you can look at the things you can control. You can't control how many wolves are coming, when they're coming, and how they're going to hit you, right? But you can control how you react to it. And that's key. Choose how to react to it, how you prepare for it. Those are stuff that you can control. So rather than us looking at like, why are people certain ways that they are, we can also just say, you know what? I'm going to start with the man in the mirror. Like MJ said, if I want to see the world change, I got to start with myself. Be the change that I want to see. Anyway, there's my way off tangent, off topic. There. Whoa, that's a big fish. That was a big fish. Smash. Oh. Oof. Alright, now let's talk about some lighter stuff. Damn, Slugcat. That's big. big fish. You'll try not to get anxious. Here's the thing. One of the tricks that I've learned recently, and it's dumb, but it's actually helped me a lot, is if I worry about something that could happen, then I have stressed out about it twice. But if I worry about something as it's happening, I've only stressed out about it once. And that has become my mantra as of late. It's like, I'm not going to worry about, like, what could happen in the future. I'm just going to worry about what has happened or what is happening right now. And it's just made me a lot less stressed. A lot less stressed. So I don't have to worry about it twice. So, am I going to play the close gotcha? I actually think I am. I like just the look of it. It looks kind of cute and like another low-key kind of casual game. Like, I vision it kind of like this. I am a little bummed to find out it's not MMO style, but I guess that's fine. I've also seen a little bit of the boss fights, and it's actually a pretty sick game. Like, the game is actually cool. Too, without it being a huge stressor or anything. And I'm like, that sounds sick as fuck. Like, I'm excited. I'm kind of interested. Now you're stressed about the heist. Why are you stressed out about the heist? Bosses are easy. I mean, I've heard most of the game itself is easy, which is, fine. Like, it's okay for us to play some easier games and stuff, too. Play music for the people. Dear, so are you stressed about the heist because of what I posted about the heist, or is there other reasons you're stressed about the heist? Because I promise you, I'm adjusting the reward that she's giving, and you guys are each going to be rewarded with, like, I think I said 300, so it's going to be 1,500 gold pieces each, just as your baseline reward, and then whatever else you guys get from the heist, too. You'll railroad us? Look, however you guys handle the heist is up to you. And such. I'm just going to make whatever happens. Also, the heist was completely optional. You guys didn't have to do it. You guys decide. Let me put it this way. I presented a cake. And I said, here, players, would you like to eat this cake? And you could have looked at me and said, no thanks, she's a bitch. Okay. And then we would have found another cake. Like, that's just how it goes. Yeah. Like, stuff happens. And here's the other side, too. I am trying to also keep the world as a living, evolving world. If you guys ultimately get to your session and just decide to not do the quest, the heist may or may not still happen. You don't know. And it won't be even relevant to you, necessarily, too. Like, that's what it is. It's just, it may or may not happen. We don't know. That and you don't trust Daniel? Well, that's something you guys got to work on, then. The people you should trust at least are the people in your party, right? In theory. But here's the thing. I want you to go with the assumption that I'm going to go with it. Which is, no matter what, you guys inevitably are going to fuck it up somehow. No matter what, a fuck up's going to happen. You can't plan for what's going to fuck up. You can't plan for what you don't know either. Right? You don't know what I'm going to throw at you. But you can plan for how you might respond to other things. And what your game plan is around on it. Like, if you guys want to split up and separate, go for it. If you guys all want to do it as a crew and all in one go for it. Whatever you guys feel is the best strategy is what you could do on it. And all I'm going to do as your game master is just throw logical consequences, both positive and negative, based on your decisions, right? I'll give you an example of a consequence here. If you guys decide to burn down the warehouse, you may or may not cause a fight and or lose all the loot that you're going to get and or fail the quest. Like, those are logical consequences from it, right? Another consequence is that you guys sneak in and damn, that's big. You guys sneak in and you find, like, the loot, and then you sneak out without getting caught, and maybe you find extra money. That could be a consequence too. Is rat a positive consequence? What is rat? What if you roll exclusively 20s and nothing goes wrong? I guess it was a smooth story, smooth sailing. You know, sometimes everything goes to plan. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, that's just life, right? You guys will go in there and it could work out perfectly. It could work out better than perfectly, right? You could go in there and be like, fuck, I stumbled on a gold bar. I guess I'll pick it up. Like, that could happen. You could also stumble on the boss's foot and then he's like, you don't fucking work here. And then now you start a fight. Like, anything could happen, right? You also do have those inspiration points that you can use. There. Also, my inspiration points are more OP than the Dungeons and Dragons one. The Dungeons and Dragons inspiration just lets you do a reroll. Mine just gives you the natural 20 because I'm like, fuck it. I'll let you guys control it a little bit. You guys haven't abused them, so I see no problem with it. Yeah, roll for anything to happen. Free natural 20 is very good. It just ensures that you will get the result. Here's the way I look at it, and the reason I wanted it to be that way. I wanted to give you guys as players some kind of ability to control the story narrative in a way that you wanted to see it controlled. Right? In a way that you felt was good, impactful, and helps, right? Because as your game master, I do control a lot of story elements. I don't control everything. But I do control a lot of story elements, right? And it's nice when you guys as players, you guys as players do get to control a lot of the story elements. Trust me, every time I come up with something, you guys figure out a new way to mess it up, which is fine. That's more of the fun for me, is like, okay, how do I make this work now that you guys have decided to kill the NPC that was essential to it? Like, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting watching you guys be able to control stuff. So when you guys have these natural 20s that you can roll, right? You guys get to control it. Like the trial. Yeah, the trial, that was your guy. I had so many outcomes for that trial, and you guys surprised me yet again. I did not see the outcome where you guys would cuss out the people that are making the judgment on your one of your companions' lives. Like, I did not. If you would have told me ahead of time that would happen, I'd be like, that's not likely. They know better than to go to a courtroom and start cussing out the judge. I was wrong. Go for it. You can bring it there. Here's the thing, right? Lady, you've got the guidebook, you've got all the resources. If you guys want to play it, go for it. Personally, you would eat the judge, do it. I'd love for there to be a funny vengeance arc where you guys go back to that city and then you just destroy the Church of Aeolius. That would be a hilarious arc, and I would love simulating that. Well, your IRL friends and your dad are more than well. You have the rulebook, so you guys can play there. Sure, you didn't get, like, the game master side of it, but you've seen me play it. I'm certain you guys could figure it out. And we do a lot more of in the mind gameplay, but that works. Daniel Top Chicken. You guys were effectively banned from the city, but you know what? If you're going to be outlaws, you might as well be outlaws on a mission. Coming in, burn down the city of, fuck, I already forgot what city it was. It's been a while. There's a lot of cities. Well, that's the thing. It's like, if your hobby, as long as your hobby doesn't, like, destroy your life, then it's a fine hobby, too. Like, honestly, every time I'm on a work call, they always ask, like, oh, I see the headphones, the mic. I feel like I'm on a podcast and stuff. I'm like, well, that's because this is my hobby. This is what I get into. It's fun and such. It has other benefits, but I get to just enjoy the activities of it. I love video audio stuff. I love video editing and all this, and it's all just part of a hobby, right? D&D, it's the same thing. Worst case scenario about a D&D hobby is that maybe you spend a little bit of money on some figurines or some design. Maybe you buy some dice and such. Like, that's cool. And then you get better at storytelling. Like, that's where it's there. Make custom classes. I mean, you could. Here's a way I feel about it, too. All of our classes, we could call them custom classes, but effectively, they are canon, because, I made the game. But if you guys wanted me to design a class for any purpose, I will do it. Like, I'm going to try and balance it, but, Dungeons & Dragons has homebrew classes, too. Homebrew stories and everything, and that's completely valid way to play. There, as long as it's not broken. You always roll 20s on your luck stat. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the thing it should be. I like the luck stat because, if just for context, we have luck as a stat because some people just don't like the randomness of dice rolls, so I wanted a stat that specifically just affected dice rolls, and that's it. Like, that's what it should be. Hello, Shababin. We're catching fish. We're making some good fish catching. I'm gonna have to actually go get bait soon. A microscopic carp. I'm glad my inventory's like infinite. I'd feel really bad if I had to like constantly empty it. Yes. I also like, one of my favorite story dynamics is you guys are like, how could people know who we are? Because you fucking go everywhere and you're like, we slayed a really big dragon and we're looking for this very specific dangerous criminal. Can you point us in the right direction? You don't even know who the fuck you're talking to. Like, I want to imagine this, that I go around and I'm like, hello, have you seen the Barack Obama? Have you seen him? No reason. I am just looking for him. That's all. Like that. Like that. That's all. There's no reason you need to be worried about it, but where is the Barack Obama? Like, people would start to like question you quite a bit and be like, what are your intentions here? Why do you keep asking this very specific question? Like, and that's how you guys have been going through the city, and it cracks me up. You're just like, how could they know about us? I don't know, how could they not know about you? Is what I want to know. I want to update my bucket. Hello, I guess I could carry more tackle. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll carry more tackle. We'll upgrade my bucket twice. Damn. Nice. Bucket upgrades. We go. Leave. There. Talking about Whisper? Yeah, Whisper in particular in this case. Ooh, where do we want to fish? I want to fish somewhere different. There. Yeah, like, you're like, how could Whisper know this about us? I don't know, because you ran around town telling everybody. Like, letting every single person know what's going on and what you're doing. Like, at this point, I'd be surprised if somebody in town didn't know who you were. No, it's not that far dynamic, of course, but I like all the bait spots everywhere. Woo! Oh, I drowned. I'm looking for, like, I don't know, a secluded fishing spot. We gotta find one, guys. This is it. I want to bounce me up. Woo! Oh, I was so close. I see it. Eventually there'll be news and other things that go around town, but that's for different things, you know? It's not always gonna be just like what you guys are currently doing. Plus, depending on the secrecy of it, there's a level of, you know, if you didn't ask all the time about, it won't let me over, but I want to go over there. Max camp tier? Nice. I guess I haven't been upgrading my camp tier at all. I guess I'm up here. Yeah, there's definitely different approaches. You guys have taken the we're going to share information with everybody approach, which is one of them. Fuck, I can't do platforming. I don't know why I'm trying to, but fuck. All right, no more platforming for me. I'm not allowed to do that. Let's go back. Let's go back. We're going to go find a new spot. We need a better fishing spot. There. It is a little weird for the fountain to be frozen. Like, those are things people would notice. It's like, huh, this moving fountain? Why is it frozen all of a sudden? Yeah, let's just fish here. This is a good fishing spot. All right. Let's put place there. There we go. Yeah. Bam. Fishing time. Wow, immediately caught a fish. Oh, I could have bought more bait. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. We'll get the bait. We won't sweat the small stuff. You would have been kicked out. I missed that. Like I said, you would have been kicked out of no bribe. If no bribe. Yeah, you probably would have been kicked out of, like, that district. Like, not out of the whole town, but out of that district, right? Because the guard is coming over there. You guys are in the rich part of the town, disturbing the peace, right? Like, you're absolutely disturbing the peace. The guard has a job to do, and you bribing him, he's like, okay, fine, I'll explain the fountain away. Just get the fuck out of my sight. Basically is what that was. Your dad. So what are you saying? You're gonna buy a fursuit for lady? Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think you could still portray lady without the full fursuit, though. I think it's very possible. It's also okay to start in layers, right? Like, you don't have to full commit on the cosplay. Yeah, you could do it in parts. You blame Amelia and Mora. See, that's the thing, though, dear. You guys should just be blaming each other on stuff. Go, oh, fuck. Sorry. This one's, I got a lot clicking. It's big numbers. This better be big-ass fish. Wow, it was like a double boundary? Damn. Wow! A new creature. I caught a gar. Stepbrother of the alligator. All right. Oh, and I got to rank up at every... Damn, that was a big fish. All right. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't... Like, don't worry about blaming each other always for everything. More of like, well, this fuck up happened, but here's how we resolve the situation, and it all turned out fine anyway. Oh, I think cosplays are cool. Here's the thing, I'm not like a big costume person, so I don't normally like costume, but I do like the work that people put in costumes. I really want to make it out to a Comic-Con one day. And, like, I want to see the... I saw it at, like, Gen Con, which was a board game convention. But I'd love to see it, like, at a Comic-Con, too. Because I'm certain the costumes are much further. Apple, blaming me is exactly the main correct option. There are some things, you know, I won't take blame for. Like, the group's behavior in the courtroom. I won't take the blame for. But, you know... If if a guard shows up because you guys are fucking around in a fountain, yeah, you could blame me for that. Of course I summoned the person. You guys do, so here's the thing. The game level up scale, like it goes, or I guess it plateaus kind of quickly. So like you guys get to do your first few levels quickly, which is what I wanted. I wanted you guys to get into your skills and stuff quickly. But then as you guys get bigger skills, like the level up is big, right? I want it to be like when you guys get to level 6, that's a big level. When you get to level 7, that's a huge level. Like that's what it should be. It should feel like that way you guys can be in your characters. You can have most of your primary skills, but then you get your major stuff. later on. Like that's kind of the way I envisioned it. So yes, leveling up fast right now is kind of by design, but the leveling does slow down a little bit. And it will slow down. Because, you know, you get bigger levels, and the other way I like to look at it is for you to go from A to B is much different than from D to E, right? Because it's, I'm drowning! Like, it is just different there. Level 7 is huge, yeah. And I know Dave keep mentioning this, guys. Dave's wrong. Dave's absolutely wrong. He is just as strong as everyone else. Like, he's just as strong. There is no individual player that is stronger than everybody. I assure you. Because here's how I designed your characters. I sat down and I thought about your guys' feedback. What you guys liked, what you guys wanted to change. And I was like, okay, I'll take this. And then I also particularly thought about what would be fun. If I was playing this character, what is something I would want to do with this character that makes thematic sense and would be fun? That's what I've mostly focused about. And that's how I would design it. And then I would look at it and be like, okay, now what makes this fun thing that could happen slightly more balanced? Just slightly more balanced. I'm not aiming for perfect balance because that's basically impossible. And if I did perfect balance, things just wouldn't be as fun as well. Instead, I did for what feels right in the moment. And sometimes I get it wrong, and sometimes I don't. Right? I think it works there. But I hope for every player that you guys are looking at your characters and their skills that you're excited for at each level. Right? Yeah, he does compare to other classes, but the thing is, too, like, yeah, he's probably doing too much class cross-comparison and saying, well, they get to do this, and it's like, but Dave, you also get to do cool stuff. Dave took one of the skills he took, I'd consider one of the more boring skills, but it has so much gameplay advantage, too. Like, he took one of the skills that doesn't do something immediately, but gives him a bonus to a variety of actions, right? Like, just a variety of actions. He now just has like a flat +3 or +4 on it. Like, at the surface, right, for your guys' normal interaction, it doesn't look like much, but it's also just a lot of value there. He also has already been talking about one of his skills that are coming up soon. I'm pretty sure it's either this level or next level, which is fucking like a smoke bomb. And sure, you could look at a smoke bomb and be like, well, is that an important skill? It becomes super important when your smoke bombs that you're throwing not only give you guys cover so you have multiple routes for escape, but also can be poisoned, combining with, I don't know, oxygen to make poison gas clouds that, I don't know, fuck up your enemies. Guess what? Now you have a super dope skill that gives you guys a little bit more edge on problem solving. Right? There are so many different ways to build things. Like, so, yes, it's Dave, he complains a lot. Yes, Dave tends to complain quite a bit. Ooh, you got popcorn? That's nice. Popcorn's always good. Yeah, but I assure you guys, Dave, I even proved at one point, because Dave was like, I'm underpowered. And I'm like, Dave, actually, you're one of the more overpowered characters. And I did the math, and I showed him by level 5, and I had to nerf him because of this, too. He made me do the math, and I had to nerf him slightly. I showed that Dave could do 42 damage in a single turn, is a single action at level 5. 42 damage. And not even needing special rolls or anything. He just uses one of his skills. One skill. You wish you could play D&D right now? We're all... Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Slugcat. It is so much fun. We have our... I don't know if you've caught on or heard, but obviously we have our own Dungeons & Dragons group. I say Dungeons & Dragons, but it is my own custom game. So it's not even like a homebrew of Dungeons & Dragons. No, it's just a new game and such. A completely different game, different system. All the classes are unique. I have none of the standard classes, like no, just like rogue, fighter, wizard, that kind of stuff. It's all kind of unique classes, and it makes me excited. There. At level 10, you can essentially make someone disappear from reality. I mean, you could, dear. That is a true fact. But obviously it comes at a cost, doesn't it? Like, it's not cheap. For now, it'll be Puppy. First, get the start. Yep. Get the star abilities. Yes. Lady. I'm excited for you guys to see that, too, because, like, you could give Puppy, like, water channeling, and that would be so cool. Actually, I can't wait for all of you guys to reach level 5, because, holy shit, you guys don't know how magical this world is. You guys have been, how do I say this? You guys have been playing the tutorial level. Because everything that you can do, I can do too. And I can't wait for you guys in RAR to go running around the forest and all of a sudden, TMG throws out a fireball, like throws some fire out, it's burning, and the monster you're fighting, whatever beast, just like flicks its head, and the fire gets redirected right back to you. Because they also have those skills. I can't wait. I'm so fucking excited for it. Because it's just dope as fuck. It's just dope. I really think it's cool. And just having those extra, like, magical abilities and those extra, like, little tricks is just gonna make the world just that much more interesting. Plus, it's gonna make it a lot harder for you guys. Just all your fights are gonna get harder. Oh, Apple, it will come. It will come. Because here's the thing. Now, you guys are at a range that I'm happy to now make more of your classes as enemies. And I will say, I mean, it's not... No, it's spoilers. It's spoilers. I already had planned when you guys were going to fight certain versions of your classes, too. And I actually have character sheets and stuff built for it as well. So I'm excited. Because I'm like, I've gone in and I'm like, all right, let's see how you guys built your characters versus how I would build your character. Because we're different. You know, we have different things we prioritize. And that's there. I'm so excited about it. Like, I'll give another example here. Lady has taken the Beast Tamer approach, right? Of, hey, you have your primary, but you also have, like, a lot of different pets and animals. What would change if we focused in on just one animal and unlocked new things with that specific animal? That makes me very excited to explore. The Beast Tamer that has just one companion that gets overly done in all the power. And lady, I specifically want you to think about your one of your level 5 skills. Because I think you're going to take the other level 5 skill, but the level 5 skill that makes commanding easier. What if you go into battle and the Beast Tamer just looks at you guys and all of a sudden their beast just starts attacking you and he did nothing? Just sits there and looks at you. Oh, you're taking that one? You're not taking the other one? I thought for sure you were going to take the other one. Can you take that one? Did you take, because there's a prerequisite skill for that. Did you take the prereq? Snowgrave route. You'll need to use a skill point for the requirement. Yes, you'll probably need to do that. Because I'm like, you haven't been using that particular setup, so that's the only reason I ask. I also like one of your master skills, lady, which I specifically designed around you, which was just like, have whatever you want. Have a fucking party. You had a talk about it, and your group thought the non-action one would be cooler. See, that's the thing, too, is that, like, I did try to make all of your guys' skills, of course, interesting and, like, hard choices, because I like the hard choices, but also at the same point, too, like, your non-action skills, your passive skills, have intentional purpose to them. So, like, let's talk TMG for a second. One of the ways I designed the Pyromancer was thinking about how they might use their skills, how they might set up stuff, and I planned them around that in combat, thematically, right, they need fire, they need things to manipulate, right? They don't just naturally create fire until later on, but they can do all of their prep outside of combat. Like, they're allowed to just prep everything outside of combat. So, like, you guys remember that big fireball that TMG threw? He could have thrown that at the beginning of combat as well. He absolutely could have. Instead, he did his setup during combat, which takes time and takes multiple actions. As you guys get higher level, particularly as TMG gets higher level, all of those other, like, preparation steps that he has to do become instant. Like, he just does them naturally, which is where you guys are about to see TMG go, like, off the charts in power, because that's thematically what it should be. He's more of a ramp up, but now Nika is about to go insane. Like, I know Yas was joking, but also somewhat serious about, like, wait a second, so TMG has these skills? Yes. Those skills you guys saw were the weakened versions, initially, of just TMG skills. So, like, if you can imagine, yes, it can be a little surprising when TMG just is like, and now you're on fire. Because he could just do that. He could just look at somebody and be like, fire. And dear, you too, a lot of your passives are just letting you play extra songs for free. Like, that's what it is. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I don't know what TMG's gonna choose, because he has the option at level 5 for, like, his bird, as you guys have seen, and also just fucking up everyone. like that's just it. He could just kill everything as well. And I think TMG's minions, I have to double check, but some of your guys' minions, they expire, right? They're gonna slowly die out, and that's because I didn't want you guys to be able to just, like, prep an army outside of combat, right? But some of your minions, you can. You could slowly build out your army outside of combat. And usually the cost for that is that those minions just die. Like, they're very weak on their own, but you could still form it. So, for example, Apple, you have one of those minions that you could just build your army outside of combat, but obviously you see part of the cost. Part of the cost isn't just stamina, it's literally your health. You have to spend health. And the more of them you have, the weaker you are. So it's like, okay, cost balance. You could prep them all outside of combat, but then you're going in not as a tank as well. And I'm like, there are some fair trade-offs there. Also, Mora, you've seen one of your level 10 skills, which very much is just do whatever the fuck you want, basically. And I'm very excited to see what you choose with your character on it. Get true tank can tank without tankiness. The tank does one job. They're supposed to just get hit. As long as they're getting hit, even if they're getting hit and dying, like, it's fine. They're doing their job. Are small snow minions fine if they're in a freezer? I mean, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Mora, it comes very obvious that your character is very nerfed if you go to a very hot area, right? Now, that's not to say you don't get abilities later that make it so you're good in those areas too. But you can obviously see that. But yes, effectively your little minions, yeah, they just last. And as long as, like, especially if they're in the cold, it's fine. But, like, they can also just die out quickly. And your cost is stamina. The more that you have, the less just overall stamina that you have, which is how it goes. Too, I had to give you guys some consequence on it so you balance it out. You plan to make Cubby a tank? I mean, if you guys have too many tanks, you guys won't deal enough damage. And you'll make me have to just increase the damage I do, which makes all your squishy people extra squishy. I also love that group 2, you guys as a collective unit have all decided I will be secondary tank, making all of you secondary tanks. Like, yes, Morris still has the lowest health, but by like 3. Maybe not even. I'd have to double check. Like, you guys are all tanks. Your guys' lowest health character has twice the health of Yas and Salty. Which cracks me up so much. Tank damager. Like, of all the characters, though, obviously Artanis is the full-on tank. But it doesn't have to be. As well, you guys have enough to survive. You're traumatized for the guy who one-shot you. I mean, that's also valid, too. And you know what? Every once in a while, I just have to remind you guys that you can die. If everything goes too smooth for you, you kind of forget that you can die. And that you have to take some parts of it seriously. Just some parts, not everything. Because if we take everything too seriously, then what's the fun in that? I also have literally on my board encounters that you guys are going to have this Friday, and I'm really excited for them. Because I'm excited for them, too. Yes, the ones you should probably be most afraid of are your beasts dying. You dying, it's not as big of a deal, but your beasts dying are a bigger deal. You're going to be more balanced approach since you're very comfortable with your current defense. Yeah, that's valid. Valid. I mean, your current defense is really good, which is also to say that I am actually rebalancing some items or some weapons to deal with you specifically, Apple. And I know that sounds like it's targeting, but I have to recognize the systems that I have and make some adjustments, which is valid there. But basically, I have to consider that damage resistance can be quite a strong stat, right? And that's fine. I need to go get some more baits. Now's a good time for me to sell. And that's fine. Like, it's totally cool with that. I just also think that, like, some of the more basic weapons should be able to, like, actually connect, too. So I've been thinking about it, and what I'm essentially going to do is some of the piercing weapons are going to get, additional, be able to apply additional ignore damage resistance stacks. Like the piercing ones. There. So, like, even daggers could ignore up to 2 damage resistance, is kind of my thought process. What is this? Consume to create a temporary bait and sell shop. Oh, I don't need that. We're good. Maybe I should, Nah, I'm not going to pay for any of that. I'm not going to pay for that. I don't need to upgrade my camp tier. Increase rod power from 20 to 35. Yeah, we'll do that. Good choice. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. Are you getting an indirect buff? Yes. Yes, an indirect buff. Basically, what's the way to fight damage resistance is just piercing, right? And that's basically all it is. it's not every enemy is going to have it, because that's uninteresting if I just make it, well, every enemy can ignore 4 damage resistance. Like, that doesn't mean anything. And ignoring damage resistance doesn't mean they're necessarily dealing more damage. It just means that they can get through heavier armor and such. But that's not going to be every enemy as well, too. You should use your turn to taunt. Well, and that's the thing, too. You guys can just taunt. There. I can make specific skills to taunt, but also your characters can just taunt. And I'm like, why would I make a skill that draws focus for something that you as characters can do? That just makes more sense to me. Like, if you, and it's not to say all of your taunts will be successful, but generally speaking, yeah, if you goad people into fighting you and you do it the right way, they're gonna fight you. And congratulations, you've gained taunt. Like, that's just how it should be. How lucky. You get a bonus. Is there a specific skill to taunt, or is just everyone able to do it? So yes, there are specific skills that taunt, but everyone is also just able to do it. Right? Because what is a taunt at the end of the day, except somebody verbalizing something to their target to goad them into attacking them? That's all a taunt is. So it's like, it'd be silly for me to be like, well, only Artanis can taunt. No. If Yas gets up there and says, you want to hit me? You want to hit me? Like, yeah, why can't Yas do that? But there is, like, Yas, for example, has a skill that just gives him taunt. There. And it's more of, like, a natural taunt, in a sense. I'm with you, Pink. I'm on the same boat. I have so many things I can't wait to introduce to you guys. From story, from campaign, all around. But I don't want to spoil it. Is the thing. I can't spoil it, because if I spoil it, then it ruins the surprise. So I'm waiting. It's coming. I know one day, because the wait will be worth it, and by me not saying anything now just makes it all the better later, right? And that's why, Pink, I keep telling you, just like, keep low key, don't ask so bluntly on stuff, otherwise no one's gonna be surprised when things happen. I promise I won't forget. I have notes, but you just gotta there. Yas class has massive potential. Oh, it absolutely does. Yas's class has, so I actually really like Yas's class from a design perspective, because it has a lot of flexibility. It's never going to be a tank. Like, that's one of the only areas it can't do. But it can fill in all the other areas. Like, it could do support, it can't do healing. And it obviously could be attacker. It also is one that can go really deep, too. Like, it can, if you build it right, if you do it right, you could do some insane stuff with it, too. You hear Christmas music? Yeah, so I guess Game Chops is doing their own versions of Christmas music. So, like, I'm not gonna complain, I guess. But yes, I guess we got Christmas music playing. I'm rank 17. This year to save me from tears. Oh my god, I have to tell you guys. My wife and I watched, oh my god, I think we have to find, I can't find the scene. Maybe I can. Either way, my wife and I, we love watching bad Christmas movies. It's our favorite. Hallmark Christmas movies, that kind of stuff, so funny. And you recognize the actors and actresses because they're just like all in the same movies. So it's always hilarious. But let me tell you, we watched A Scottish Christmas, which... It's one of the worst. It's just the worst. It's so bad in so many ways, but it was so funny. I have to tell you guys, if you have an hour and a half, watch this movie. Watch it. because holy shit, it is ridiculous. And they did some of the actors dirty. What do I mean by that? There's this one moment where the mom character is talking to her 2 children. And she's talking to her 2 children. And she's looking what we assume normal, but because the lens that they captured this scene on was a fisheye lens, her eyes were looking sideways, like opposite directions, this entire scene. She's got her eyes like this. And then the most, I still have it in my head. She turns and looks directly at the camera. She looks directly at the camera, like a bad thing. Like, actors aren't supposed, you're not supposed to do that. It ruins the immersion. Except because of the fisheye lens, I have never seen someone look at the camera and both of their eyes are still sideways. She looked psychotic. And we could tell she was looking at the camera, but her eyes weren't looking at the camera. It's just, oh my god, we rewatched it like 3 times because we couldn't believe it. It was so insane. It's so funny. Just seeing this moment of like, what is she doing? And never mind that it's clear that these people, whoever made this movie, had never been to Scotland or anything. Because they just kept doing every trope that they could think of. Like, oh, I'm in a kilt. I better ask the guy in a kilt what he wears under his kilt. In normal conversation. Like, excuse me? He's like, what are you wearing under it? Just like, what the fuck? At another point in time, they're at a casual party, and they're just doing Scottish jigs. So they're like, oh, but horribly as regular people. And I'm just like, I'm certain they just don't do that. Like, just in their normal day-to-day life and stuff. It is so ridiculous. And then one of the bigger plot points at the beginning, too, like, spoiler alert, they have to decide if they want to be a duke and a duchess. Like, that's what their decision point is. But they're sitting here and you can see the romance, like the trope guy come in every single time. The main character, she's like, I think I want to leave. Her love interest would appear. By the way, I should say this movie wasn't really about her finding her love interest. No, this movie was about her bonding with her brother, which gave the whole film incest vibes. The whole film had incest vibes of how she had to get closer. Also, unironically, the guy, and I don't know, at this point I don't even know if it's satire, but the guy literally would say lines of like, what is this? An opportunity for me to bond and get closer to my sister over the Christmas holidays? Like, thanks for explaining the whole plot in your line. He said the line, like, what the fuck? And I just, every line, they at one point in time, they introduced a character, never said this character's name. This person came in, and the main actress, she's like, you look familiar, and he just says, I get that a lot. And then they all of a sudden did a dance choreography together. Like, they just did a dance choreography together, won a dancing competition. By the way, this is still a Scottish Christmas movie. I haven't moved on. This is the same movie. They did a dance choreography, and then he never shows up again. I genuinely thought they were introducing a secondary love interest into the film. No, they just introduced this character for the dance scene. I only found out later when we were just kind of glancing at stuff online about the film that guy that they introduced for that one scene was the actress's real life husband. And that was their joke, was that he was doing a cameo, except the cameo was so forced that it was like, I'm trying to figure out like what they were thinking during the filming too. I'm like, what is this guy's purpose here? Why are they here? Am I supposed to recognize them? Like, we did not get it at the time. It just made it so much funnier too, looking back on it. I'm flabbergasted. But yes, it is on Netflix, and it is one of the most ridiculous movies I have ever seen, and I love it. I love watching bad Christmas movies. And we're gonna hopefully be watching more soon. Like, we've watched the whole Christmas Prince trilogy, which every single movie is about a Christmas prince and marrying a Christmas prince. It's so dumb. All of these are so dumb. We also watched Christian Mingle, which is based on the website and then the movies about, like, dating and finding Christianity and Christ through dating. Cracks me up. It's so ridiculous. Oh, man. Ooh. Ooh. I like these big bars. They make me feel like I'm progressing. When I don't see them, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I caught a glistening carp. I keep forgetting to drink my soda, but whatever. Every time I throw the line, I'm like, oh yeah, I should drink a soda. And by the time I catch a fish again, I forget that I'm supposed to be drinking my sodas. Oh well. Such is life. My sister got me, she asked me if I'd be interested in a mobile
Wardale
game.
wonders if you have ever considered drinking
call.
water sometime. Now might be a good time.
Good call, good call. Yeah, my sister found a game. I guess her boyfriend put her on it too. It's like a mobile game, and she's like, "Oh, do you like territory control games?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love territory control games." So she got it, and she showed it to me, and I have been playing it too. It straight up is like a mobile ripoff of Civilization, like Sid Meier's Civilization. It's pared down, so I appreciate that you can actually beat a game of it in like 30 minutes or something. There are definitely things about it that are completely unbalanced though, and also the multiplayer. And I should say it's mostly the multiplayer. Like, I've been playing bots characters, which are good enough on it. The game suffers from size and placement. So if I start a new game and I'm in the middle of the map, I just restart the game, because I'm like, I will literally be having a war on all fronts, and I cannot compete with that. This game has peace treaties and things like that, but no one ever would use them for it has a bunch of what I would deem as just pointless stuff. And the most unbalanced thing is, as you level cities, you get to choose between one of two upgrades up until like city level 5 or something, where the one or two upgrades are always the same, which is just make your city produce more or get a super unit. For context, most units in the game have like 10 health. The super unit has 40 health. And you could just keep getting the super unit. And they're giants, so their only downside is that they can't attack on the same turn that they moved. But they have so much health and deal so much damage that you get like 2 super units and you could just win the whole game. It's really imbalanced. Right? Like, it's super, super imbalanced. And I don't know, it just feels like I'm playing it, I'm enjoying it enough, but I'm also just like, maybe I just want to play regular Civ, because it's clearly like regular Sid Meier's Civilization is the superior game. Yeah, I forgot that I ran out of bait. Like, it's just better in like every way, more theme, more setup. And I'm a Sid Meier's, like, I played Civ 5, I haven't played Civ 6. I should have, I don't know, it's like $3 every once in a while and such. In fact, there was one day it was $1 and I still didn't buy it, so that's where I'm at. But in either case, I'm the type of player that I'd play like on board game mode, where I don't even have the 3D animations. I'm just looking at the board and just like 2D graphics. And I prefer playing that way. It's just, I don't know, it's more fun. It runs 2 times faster because you don't have all the animations for everything. And it's good, but the problem, my big problem with Civilization is that it's an 8-hour investment. And I don't always have 8 hours to play a game. And Civilization also is most fun at the beginning, when you're setting up and you're discovering stuff. Once you're established, it's like Click Next Simulator, which is lame. It's kind of sad. And I'd love to play Civ with like more people. I'd love to play the super long game as well. Getting a group of people to sit around to play that game for that long is super hard. Like, it's basically impossible. And so, I don't know. I've thought a lot about it, and I've enjoyed, like, if anybody's ever played Civilization, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but it's this giant game where you start from the Stone Age, and you go all the way through to the modern age, and even a little bit into the future, too. You're interacting with other civilizations, you're vying for power through peace and through war and through culture and technology, and there's so many different approaches to play it that it's effectively endless. Plus you've got randomly generated maps and challenges and difficulty spikes. Like, it's a good game. It's just a good game. The only thing it's got against it is that it's an incredibly complicated game. Nuclear Gandhi. Did you guys know the reason that Gandhi is the most aggressive NPC? Like, unironically? The reason is, so they had, in the original Civilization, let me take a step back. In Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization, the leaders or the nations that you play are led by iconic people from that country. So, for example, if you can play America, and George Washington will be your leader. And you can play India, and Gandhi will be your leader. So they had a aggression to peaceful scale for every character. And in the original game, they had it set up as like a 0 to 10 scale. What it was that if they're a 10, they're very aggressive, and if they're at a 1, they're not aggressive at all. Well, Gandhi was set to a 0. Gandhi was supposed to be the least aggressive thing. Well, if you go on easy difficulty in the game, its code was set to make all of the NPCs less aggressive. In turn, what this did is it made Gandhi a -1, which broke the system because they didn't plan, or that it was an accidental bug. They didn't plan for Gandhi didn't plan for the aggression to go negative at all, so they just made it like only positive numbers. So what this does is it max int like bit calculation, and it made Gandhi max int aggressive, so more aggressive than a 10, the most aggressive compared to everything. And this is what happened in the very first Sid Meier's game. Since then, they have maintained it, and Gandhi, to this day, in every game he's included in, which I think is all of them, is the single most aggressive NPC. Like, every time I'm in a game with Gandhi, he will message me and he's like, "Hi, I think America should die. Would you like to go to war with me against America?" And it is so fucking funny. Because it's just every conversation with Gandhi, he's like, "I just want you to know that I think you're pathetic, and I'm going to crush your nation." And then he starts a war with you. And it's so fucking funny, because you never expect it to. The very first game of Sid Meier's that I ever played, I randomed everything. I didn't want to know the game. I wanted to just kind of explore it. And I was playing Saudi Arabia, and I was stuck on my own little, like, island with, Berlin, or specifically the Germanic people, which Lord Bismarck. Ooh, that's the best fish I've ever gotten. Yeah, with, Bismarck. And we were just had our own island. Eventually, I took them over and stuff, and it was great. And then all of a sudden, one day, I just thought it was just like a couple of us on the island. I didn't realize that there were 6 other NPCs, and I just all of a sudden was discovered, kind of like the Native Americans. And I was just like, oh fuck, the Japanese have found me. And all of a sudden, the whole world became aware of my presence. And it was like, I guess I'm going to war now. And I made a fleet of battleships and started conquering the mainland, because we were just the only 2 NPCs on our own island while all the other ones were fighting somewhere else. And I remember that feeling. And what's cool is that you don't know how big the map really is or what it looks like until you explore. So the map is so zoomed in just on your stuff, but as you get bigger and get throughout the game, it literally expands out. So you see the bigger perspective, and it's so good. Hey, Yas, how's it going? Yes, but it is true. Gandhi will nuke you. Just, if Gandhi gets a hold of nukes, he doesn't even wait. He's just like, I have these. I'm just going to kill everyone. And that's how he does it. Doubt first. Doubtful. Oh, yes, I forgot to tell you. And by forgot to tell you, I mean, I told everybody else on stream right at the beginning. Prepare for the whole economy in the tabletop role-playing game to be destroyed. And also, your sword is getting a slight nerf and a slight buff. Like a slight nerf, like your enchanted sword. I don't even know if you're using that currently there. But yeah, the whole economy has been is being toppled, and on Friday I'm going to share with you guys this new store that, if provided I get it done, the new store thing, and you get there. It is equipped. Okay, yes. So yes, basically you can jot down that it will afflict poison at 10 or more instead of 5 or more, but it'll also deal 3 damage to orcs instead of just 2 extra, and it ignores damage resistance. Though you are wanting to buy the war scythe, well, that's an option too. That could just change it there. Oh yeah, Mora, you didn't see this too. Yeah, I built out, I guess I can show you guys quickly here while we're fishing. 1 second. Just gotta pull the screen over. All right. Yeah, I could share here. Yeah, I built the store. These are all the things you can purchase. I have listed every single enchantment that I could think of, which is 155 enchantments have been listed in here with their prices, but you can see that the prices have changed quite a bit, and that's to accommodate for the fact that money shouldn't cost as much, or food shouldn't cost as much, so we accommodate that. But something here, for example, here's chain there. So I know you guys asked about chain. It's 50 gold per foot of chain there. And you can see alchemist supplies are 2,500 gold and such. But I am, yes, inflation has happened. Inflation has greatly happened there. So you can see, like, here is that claymore. It costs 1,600 gold pieces and such. But with that in mind, I am also going to literally inflate your guys' actual money. So don't worry about that. It is coming. I assure you. There, I'm not just gonna drop you guys in with this new economy and you guys won't have the appropriate money. We're gonna figure out exactly how much, but I think it's everybody's gonna get 5x, just what they currently have. Yeah, hopefully that worked that way, where it's like, no, we just adjusted everybody's money to be the same. Is a short sword just an objectively worse whip with new prices? I will take a look into it. I am rebalancing a lot of the weapons too. Yeah, I'm gonna rebalance a bunch of the weapons, so I want to make them a little more different from each other. But it would end up being cheaper, the whip, than the short sword. So filling an announcement survey, it's hard. It is hard, and I'm not expecting you guys to like fill out every category or like fill it all out today too. There's more stuff to explore on it too. Actually, I already think I've solved the whip. Apple, here's for your reference what the whip's going to do. I'm going to write it down just so I remember. The whip will not suffer from the -1 from to hit being in the back row. There. Ah, fuck! I just cracked my thumb. I got punished. I guess I shouldn't do that. Does it save and allow edit after you submit? So it can't save after submit because I don't make you guys sign in to save your answers. But I guess I could update the form to do that. Here, let me update the form. Yeah, give me a second. I'll update the form and I'll see if I can make it so you guys can edit, submit. You can submit multiple answers too. Let's see, responses. Let's see, yeah, okay. Yas, I just turned on response editing. So responses can be edited after being submitted. Too. So I just turned that on. So yes, you can now do that. Oop. Yes. So there you go, guys. Now you can start it and then you can come back to it later as well. But here's my envisionment for that is that we're gonna around Christmas, maybe a little after, I will send out a voting form survey so you guys can vote on stuff, but it'll give me time to like find the clips, find everything that you guys suggest, so that we can watch them. We can watch the best moments, and whatever like the top 3 are, we're gonna watch like all during the final stream and kind of have a reflection on the year. Just like what is the best from the community. It's kind of my envisionment, if you will. But I figure it'll be a fun way to just kind of reflect on the year and then talk about New Year. Better attribute, you mean? I mean, that's true. How do we dump these new weapons into the site and add like a search bar? Okay, so yes, let's talk about that more. So the store itself, I didn't show this, it will be searchable. So you guys can actually quick search everything and pull it up. But how do we dump them into the website? That's gonna be another challenge too. I mean, it's technically an Excel file. Or you could CSV it, right? It could be dropped as a CSV and then we can just pull that data. Like that's an option. But the storefront itself will be searchable so that you guys can find stuff. Better be that scene with the tailor. I mean, dear, I hate to say it with you, that's not our community's most horny moment this year. There are much more horny moments this year. Like, I'm certain we could find it. It's certainly deers. That's true. But we've played some games this year. Did I ever click the HTML file, basically? Oh, yeah. We did play Dark Souls 1, which is the horniest of games. I was doing a quick look back. We did play quite a few games this year. Surprisingly. We still played quite a few games, and we actually beat quite a few games, too. I am genuinely surprised by this. Like, the first game we played this year was Pizza Tower. And we played and beat it. So, that's pretty good. You're gonna go for the hat in time. We keep going around the conveyor belt trying to find the anime cat girl. That's true. We did keep finding the anime cat girl. There she is. Atlas is also pretty horny as a game, just in general. The stream for, I mean, technically that was last year. Salty. Whoop. Boop, boop. But that is an incident that will live in infamy for a very long time. Caught turtle, caught salmon. Wow. Catch lakefish. Another. Wow. I gotta get 290 more. Oh, I have treasure chests. I forgot that I have an inventory of things. How do I get to it? All right. But I want to just open it. Cosmetic baseball cap. Okay. A good girl title unlocked. Cosmetic Starlight. Ooh, wait, what was Cosmetic Starlight? What is that? Misk? Okay, these are my titles. I do kind of like the Strong Warrior title. I want to do Strong Warrior. There. Ooh, we got some of these things. Oh, I got a crown. I mean, that's cool and all, but I like my black beanie. These are green overalls and olive vests. That's fine. Ooh, accessories. Eye patch and green rain boots. I think I'll wear the green rain boots. That's just fine. Oh, this is my Starlight. Wah! I was kind of hoping for something else, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I like all the customization that's available. It feels like I could do a lot. All right, we got lots of fish. Lots of fish. So many fish. I better go sell my fish. All right, let's enter the hub. All right, let's go here. Wait, did I sell my fish? I didn't sell my fish yet. Sell all my fish. Boom, boom. Okay, what should I buy next? I do like luck. It feels like I get more stuff with luck. I could also upgrade. I don't know if I even want to upgrade this. Unlocking additional bait, lures, items, props, and cosmetics in the shops. It just doesn't seem important. Increase catch chance. Reel speed. I mean, that's fine. I'm not having an issue with my reel speed right now. Bonus loot. Max bait, I don't care about. I don't even know what... This is where I struggle. I'm like, what do I even buy? Like, I kind of want to get the squid license. That's what I should do. You know what? I'm just going to save my money and just try to get the squid license. There. Yes. Did I pin the code? Yes, I did. I put it in the one channel, but also there's that. Thank you, lady. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. Yes, so long story short, yes, and Mora, just so you guys know why the economy has changed, it's because of a couple reasons. And the first and honestly the primary reason is because I wanted to separate out the costs of food compared to actual tangible supplies there, which required a lot of inflation. I am in the water. Required a lot of updates. It required inflation on a lot of things. I wanted it to be that your guys' food costs were like negligible compared to important items. But at the same time, the important items shouldn't just necessarily be like, oh, I just get this and then I get this and then I can get 10 of these. Like, no. It needs to be actually something worthy of your time. And so big things like enchantments and particular armor is going to cost more because it should. It should cost more. So that's what we've done is I've increased those costs on those items and then made some updates otherwise. So that's the main reason for the economy changes. I still have plans to continue balancing. I gotta go through the sheet, but once this sheet's done, it should make shopping super easy for you guys because you just simply put in the store, basically what size town you're in, what store you want to go to, and it tells you what's available, and you select what you want to buy, and then it does all the calculations for you so that you know what you want to purchase, what you want to sell, and it'll tell you, here you go, here's your grand total on it. Yes, Deer is correct. That coat, that cloak he just purchased with the wolves and everything would have cost him 800 gold. There. But that said, you guys have... let's put it in perspective here. You guys the other day paid like 10 gold for your meals, right? 10 gold for your meals. In this system, those meals would have still cost 10 gold, except it wouldn't have cost you like 5% of your total gold for food. It would have cost you 1%, if that. So that's the big adjustment, is that some of those things is going to make it much easier. And then in addition to this, the sheet will also make it so you guys can easily buy and sell stuff, especially if people just want to do some side shopping. They can too. And yes, don't worry, I will be also introducing a system into it so that if you could still haggle on some things, don't get me wrong, you still have to like provide adequate reason for a haggle, but you could still haggle and I can instant price adjust. And it'll be a control like that I have, that I could just go in and just be like, look, you've got like a 10% discount. And that's basically what we could do on it. So that's basically that's the whole high level of it. But I also wanted to
feels so good
listed for you guys so that you had all of your options too. I realized I was a little too, I don't want to call it loosey-goosey with enchantments, but I was a little loosey-goosey with the enchantments to basically say, look, there's a lot of options here. And instead I've made it very clear. It's like, here are all the enchantments that are available. Yes, it's 155. But no, you don't need to look up all of that. Why was that so loud? It's because it's on my other, like, I don't know, system too. I could probably cut that one down. Sorry, everybody, for the surprise sound. Where do you find demonic spell? You can find them. I actually need to, that's where I last left off, was like spell.
Moracle thinks
there,
your posture
where
is
you guys
shit and you
can
need to sit up.
sit up. Spells and rune smithing are like the next things that I have where you guys can actually imbue spells. Ritual stuff, oh, you'll find it. And that's actually a huge component too, is I have to get into potions next. And the costs of potions are gonna vastly change. Trust me, you're not getting $20 healing, 20 gold healing potions anymore. Like, that's not gonna be a thing. But it'll also make sense price-wise. Buddy's empty. There we go. Yeah, no more 20 gold healing potions. Those are lesser healing potions. Those are gonna get more expensive. There. The weapon you do use is kind of special, but it's there. Can you summon Senpai? So demon summoning too is primarily from Necrotol, so you can't necessarily summon Lady to you, but there's still there. Is there still a different special for every town? Yep, and I will be tracking that on the sheet too. So there will be different specials in each town. I have notes about that kind of stuff too. You still will get 20 gold? Do it. There are things that do yoink you, though. Yes. But yes, no, yes, I'm not... Let me put it this way. I'm not removing any of the features that we've had so far. I'm just adjusting the economy. That's all it is. I'm just making an adjustment for the economy and making it shopping easier on all of you. On all of us. So that we can all do it. And this sheet will be a living sheet, so we'll add more items as we go to it, too. Stealing does get for free, and I probably did something I shouldn't have put on this section, but I'm 100% did it for a reason, so that I remember the prices. I have an entire section dedicated to loot, so you guys can see the prices of the loot that you're getting from random things. But you'll notice that a bunch of the loot you get from things like places like castles. And it's also there, so that way, yes, if you guys find yourself stealing from a castle, you can know the value of the loot that you're stealing. Every single piece. I'm gonna use this site probably going forward, but there's loot tables that I can set up. Beep. Slowly drag. Hello, discord.gg/fabricmc. Are you the Fabric Minecraft? Oh, we got a fish. Oh, damn. This is a big fish. Oh, look at these walls. We gotta tear them down. Got it. What do we get? It was an axolotl. It was a glistening huge one. Look at that. So good. Oh, it's so good. All right, anyway, you have a hostage. You wish you could connect the Excel thing into your HTML thing. So, we technically can. It just makes your HTML thingy a lot more complicated. Like, let me phrase it this way. I guess this is gonna sound. I don't want to sound condescending. That's not the word. Have you guys heard of a database? And do you know what a database is on a formal sense? Are you guys familiar with that? Does it sound familiar to you, Mora, at all? A spreadsheet? I mean, funny enough, some companies do use spreadsheets as their database. Microsoft Access does access databases and can be used to access databases, but a database, functionally speaking, is a structure, a coding structure that is used to store data there. And there's a variety of ways to make things faster for storing data, and there's specialty code that's used for accessing and mostly querying that data. That's what SQL is. But a database is just a place that stores data. That's the main thing you need to know about it. So yes, a spreadsheet can be used. I know it's not super exciting, but here's the thing. There are languages designed to query databases and pull data from databases, and a lot of languages and a lot of APIs, they have connections so the databases can talk to each other. I used to do a lot of database management in Java and even some in PHP, which I don't recommend to anybody. But when you're doing it on websites and stuff, you need something in the back end, some kind of like framework that is pulling data from a database. Now, you guys probably have heard of APIs. And APIs are these kind of, they're application protocol indicators, but basically what they do is they're calls to a server, and the server will return data. A lot of times how these APIs work, right, is that they will make calls to their database where they're modifying the data and share data that you're allowed to access with them. So, Mora, to answer your question, we could, in theory, yes, link them directly. And Google does a pretty good job with their services of their macros and things are coded in JavaScript, which means we could link it. But your interface right now is primarily, exclusively a front end. Like, you have exclusively a front end. You do not have a back end to your program right now. So to link it, we would have to build a back end to your site. And then we could link the data and pull that kind of stuff. But I also want to say that vastly changes the entire scope, and the level of coding gets a lot more difficult. To be more effective, we'd have to host it somewhere so that it could pull the data live. And sure, we could set it up that the front end, every time you start up the page, it does a data call to the stuff, and essentially we set up an API that connects it. But that's like so much work to do it that way, and it makes it not very fast. So yeah, basically you have a front and you need a back too. Teach Mora Postman? Oh my god. I don't want to teach Postman. Postman would simplify parts of it, but you also have to understand the underlying functions to do it right. In either case, Salty, it still doesn't solve the problem of we need a front end and a back end. And what Mora's website is the front end. Here's another way. I know I keep using these terms, front end and back end. Front end is the part of the software that you guys see and touch. So thinking of the gacha game, right? That is the interface where you guys see, you touch stuff, you guys get to play your game. That's all front end. Back end is the stuff that you don't see. The stuff that is happening, like code-wise, calculations, and that is essentially where all the data from the front end comes from. In the gacha game, that's the server where I set all of your user data and such. So when you guys start the game, the gacha will query, basically it literally calls an API to say, hey, I need data because I have a person connecting to the server, and the backend says, "Oh yeah, let me calculate that," and then it comes back and says, "Here's your data." That's how it works at a super high level. Yeah, Postman is a go-to for learning about API calls. I agree. It is a go-to. It's a nice service that sets it up, especially if you don't know anything about APIs and how they work. It's very good for that. And here's the thing. When you guys start thinking about, like, databases, I want you to think that you've got your front end that lives up here. This is everything that everyone touches. You have your back end, which its sole purpose is to provide data to the front end and make sure things are functioning. And yeah, there's some back ends that set up the, like, actual server calls, functionality, blah, blah, blah. The back end is the only thing that touches your data and touches your database, right? The front is basically a website. Yes, it is. Another thing to look at is this game. So we're playing this game right now. Everything that I'm interacting with is the front end code. There is a back end server code that could be run, but there is a service that is running. It's a middleman service that acts as an interface to allow you to see all of the IP addresses or all the games that you could join, right? And my computer hosting this game is acting like a server, acting like a backend there. So if you guys ever hear servers, that's usually your backend of your code. So my computer is acting as the backend for this game, feeding data to both mine and Deer's front end code to tell us what we should be seeing, what we're collecting. It's using some rules, but I wouldn't be surprised if most of this game is calculated in the front end. Let's get into, we're not going to dive too deep into hacking, but front ends can because it's a piece that users touch, front ends are easier to hack than back ends. So I'll give a quick example, and I probably could just show this. Let me just show this example here. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a game. It's called Cookie Clicker. I don't know why I'm in all caps. All right, here's Cookie Clicker. Dumb website, dumb game. Oh fuck, I left it on because I think I showed you guys this. Can we options? Can we just wipe save? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, wipe me. Do it. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it's gone. Okay, it's wiping live. All right, we close all the achievements. We don't care. All right, so I click a cookie, and I'm getting single cookies here, right? Look, I have so many cookies, and then I'm allowed to buy something on it, right? This website and this interactive is all front end. Here is why. If it was a back end, I wouldn't be allowed to go in here and change data. For example, I could start typing in here. I could see game. Let's see, mods, broken mods. I don't think we need mods. Let's just see what's in here. I can see all the variables here. Everything, buffs, bounds, blends. And the only variable I care about is like cookie count. Okay, I could even change the cookie. Yeah, here's cookies. Look, I have cookies. I have apparently 11.62 cookies, right? Because it's getting the 0.1 per second. Let's just set this because, once again, this is a front end, right? So this is a variable, right? I can click this, it outputs the cookies. If I set it to something, like, I don't know, this. I've hacked the game. And now let's do a times equal. And maybe another times equal. And another times equal. It looks like I'm hacking, right? That's because all of the data here is stored in the front end. If it was a back end, what it would look like is I would try to make these calls, and the back end would look at it, and if it was programmed right, it would say, are you allowed to do that? Right? It's trying to store it in a database, and it's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And it would just tell me no. But because all of this code and all the game logic is stored in the front end, it's very hackable as well. Likewise, if we go into this game, right, it makes it more moddable because most of it, the logic's done in the front end. And when logic's done in the front end, it means the server is able to be lighter. You don't have to do as much. But it also means that it's not as safe. So while I haven't looked at modding in this game, I'm certain I could mod it to just give me all the achievements, make it so every time I fish, I always get the maximum size fish, and things like that, and make it so I don't have to do that without needing to modify the server code itself, too. So that's primary differences. So let's talk about how this relates to Mora, your code. Your code is a front end, right? It currently doesn't have any backend calls. It doesn't have any server reference or anything, so it's able to be light and simple. That cookie clicker website, it does have a backend. It does have a server somewhere that is designed to give you access to the website. But once you have it, then there's not much you can do. You heard there's a hacker called Grincher that has touched this game and tried to get into Atlas. I mean, there's a thing too. It just because code's in the back end and it's in theory more secure doesn't mean it's untouchable. And good hackers can get through to back end. There's also this thing, it's one of my favorites. It's called SQL injection. So a lot of times when we're writing code, particularly on the front end, we write code to design our SQL queries. And if you're smart enough, you can know, I mean, it doesn't have to be smart enough, it's trained enough, you can know how to make the code work so that it's like, oh, when I select this value on a search bar, it's able to query my database for this information, right? And that's from a front-end interface, connecting to the back end, connecting to the database. All good and fine and dandy, right? Here's the thing. If you write your code not the best, you could do something that's called SQL injection, which is when somebody goes to access your code and access your database, because we know that it's an injectable spot, you can inject your own code into that spot, right? You could do your own code, which means you could change things in the database. The most iconic and regular ones are the ones that do like drop table. So basically what you do is you find the spot that's trying to process SQL code, and you basically introduce your own SQL code. And unless you have, and there are ways to prevent that, but like unless you know about this, you wouldn't normally do it. You could do whatever you want. You could change the database itself, and this is one of the ways that hackers get in, is that they just find vulnerabilities in the website, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to take it over. Drop table users is funny. Yeah, and when you run those kind of commands, it just destroys the website. It destroys everything in there, too. There's not only just SQL injection. There are sites, mine, that also allow for levels of HTML or JavaScript injection, which is very easy to do on front ends. What do I mean by this? I'll show you guys another example here. This is not a full injection because, the front end was designed around this. So let's just go to google.com, right? Okay, so we have this site, right? What does an HTML injection look like? Just to give an example, right? So I could go here, and I could see that there's this picture here. All right, I can see that there's this picture here. Now, watch this. Let's go here, and let's just look up funny meme. It's gonna be really good. Cool. We'll do the shorts. This seems like a really good meme. All right, so we're gonna take this URL here. I'm gonna go to Google here, and here's what I'm doing. I have selected this element, right? I have selected this element. This element is responding here, and you can see source. Oh, it's just this logo.gif. Oh, that's cute. Look how wonderful that is. We're going to make a minor adjustment, though. This source is no longer this. No, this source is my URL instead. Welcome to Google, guys, or should I call it Shorts? Welcome to Shorts. This is what HTML injection can look like here. And you could do it with like JavaScript and stuff. You can essentially go in and be like border, because they have this fixed. Like I'm doing bold, meme, test, bold here. This is HTML, and it would interpret it differently, right? Now by default, because they built their site, Google built their site effectively, right? It's not accepting this because it's not recognizing this as like valid HTML, and more so it's placing it, if I go into here, it's a text area. So this text area, autocomplete, this is the place where you interact with, right? It's going in here and it's saying, let's see if I can find the actual text I have written. I want to get the actual text here. I'm just gonna look data false, data value style. It doesn't even have my text in here, which is amazing. It doesn't even allow like injection in that way. We can see some style, all this stuff that's being pulled. Interesting. I was hoping I could just show this in a simpler way, but I guess we're gonna do it in the fucky way. So you could do other kinds of injections too, because this is a browser, right? I could just go in here and I can edit as HTML. I could say, oh, look at this. We got this class div. It's got all this garbage in here, which makes it harder to edit. But if I go in, let's see, that's the style guidelines, inner container. Fuck, these classes are big. I just want to insert my own little div here. It's fine. Chill out. Oh my God. No, we're not going to insert it here. That's too much work. Too much work. We're going to go here instead. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, we're not going to the picture. Div class. That's what I wanted. This is on the form. Great. This is edit as HTML. We scroll up to the top. We got our form here. Display effects. This is all the styles. Wow, they got a lot of fucking styles, dude. Okay. Let's just look for false area. Wow, they just got a fuck ton of styles. But here we go. I just saw what I was looking for. I just saw it. Where is it? The span class. Cool. Let's just put something here because why not? Div, fuck the police. Div. Close. All right. Let's see if it accepted that. Oh, it looks like I edited the search bar. Either way, you can kind of see my point here that you can modify sites and stuff, and it's usually it goes in. I don't want to boot my own code up right now because I'm feeling lazy. But some of my own site and the Gotcha game has some areas that technically speaking you could SQL inject. Technically speaking. I don't know exactly all the spots, but like there are areas where you could technically SQL inject, or not SQL inject, sorry. You can't SQL inject on my site because one, I make a reasonable database, and two, and more importantly, I'm not using SQL right now. So there, you can't SQL inject when SQL doesn't exist. Best way to prevent it. I'm also looking for the alien. thing. Is that it over there? That looks like that's it over there. Sometimes I wish you could run faster, but, you know, this game does teach you patience in a way. Teach you how to be a little more patient with your activities. Alright. Alright, alien fish. Whoop. I'd like to catch you, please. Am I doing this right? I assume I am. There we go. Easy. There's literally a run fast potion. Oh. I should get that. That would be helpful. Just keep running this way. But yes, long story short, it might be a lot of extra work to try and insert the database live. The live just database of information from that spreadsheet, and it just might be easier to just add them periodically to the character sheet. Like that's just all I got on that. Long story short. Extra is an understatement. Potion of speed, cough. Coffee. Yes. But yeah, just wanted to share some of my info. Whew, boy. Let me tell you. We are getting some of that fun fluffy snow today. Like it's falling. It's kind of snow that you like seeing in movies. You know, that's like, oh, that's what winter's about, is this beautiful snow. Yeah, we had some of that fluffy snow falling. None of it really stuck to the ground. I mean, I guess technically a little bit. We're supposed to get more snow, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm like less optimistic about snow nowadays, just because global warming, things are getting hotter. We're just having less snow and such. Like we have less snow than my parents had, and my parents got less snow. You guys got the flurries too. I know they were coming from the west, and they hit the western end of Michigan first. You got hot sun today? Ugh. I mean, I'd take the snow over the hot sun any day. Exclusively rain? Oh, I wish. I like rainy days. What is snow? Yeah, I would love more rain. I like rain. I love it when big thunderstorms come in, and it's just like the sounds of it are so nice. It's so peaceful, so relaxing, if you will. You don't envy your fam who's had to deal with digging people out of their homes? I mean, that's true. My mom talked about that growing up. Tropical country snow don't exist. I mean, yeah, obviously there's mountains. I get it. I've been to Hawaii. The thing that was most jarring to me, and I was on Maui specifically, the thing that was most jarring to me was just how quickly the environments changed on it. Just driving like 10 minutes, it's like we're in jungle, and now we're in savannah, and now there's snow. Stuff like, and it wasn't quite that drastic on the last one, but it was just a weird dynamic, and it's because of like the rain. It's not rain shower. What is the rain shadow? Is that what it is? Whatever it is from a geographic perspective there. Yeah, that happens in those kind of climates when you have mountains and stuff, and just how it impacts the water that falls. You prefer snow? I prefer the cold. I don't like the mud and goopy stuff that gets everywhere. I mean, desert by technical definition is just barren, right? It's just like a barren area. So you can have like an Arctic desert in a sense. You should have had more. I wish that I got as much snow as I did when I first went to college. I think it's genuinely cool. I like the lot of snow. I think it's a fun activity. I don't like shoveling it, but I do like the snow, just kind of in general. It's a lot of work, but I like it. I kind of miss it, and I want my kids to experience it, but I sense they're not going to, which is a bummer. Why the sad music now? I don't know. I just switched to that song. The song's Unwavering Heart. Here. You guys like to listen to some Legend of Zelda? We can do some Legend of Zelda. I'll find some new songs for us to listen to. Music's going away until I find a new song. Hyrule Lo-Fi 3 just got uploaded, so I guess we'll listen to this one. I hope it's good. Is it hot where Daniel comes from? Yes. So, I should say this. And I'm assuming you're talking Daniel the character. So, yes, Daniel comes from the part of a Theodore that's primarily the desert. We've got Wolverines here, Mora. Not many anymore, but we have them. That's why you've got the U of M Wolverines. There is a funny desert next to the tundra. I am actually going to be relooking the map. I'm still keeping those primary biomes the same. But, yeah, I mean, that's all it needs to be. You just went too far north and the desert switched to, like, tundra, so it got super cold. It's all about how the geography lines up. You 3 tundra deer. Yeah, basically. Nah, so Daniel's character does come from the desert. He's from the warm part of it, Theodore. Yes. Did I ever post the VOD for group 2? Yeah. I posted it on my main channel. I made sure to post it. There's a 5-hour random video now on the main channel because I couldn't post it in there. Yeah, I know. I got the stream to work. Yeah, it's because I don't have it full screen. I have it in windowed mode. It's the only way I'm going to get it to work. So, I've been happy about it too. I've been enjoying just the chill vibes. Yeah, basically. I do find it funny that you guys are all like deer-related characters, and you're like, all like, we all came from the tundra. It's like you all lived together, kind of. Meanwhile, everyone's from the desert. Yeah, like everybody else is over there. I mean, you've got like Artanis, who's from somewhere completely different as well. We have it pinned where. Yeah, now that you're all here, you should just write the lore. Just decide. Where's Nika's homeland? Nika's from Spring. Sprin. It's the country to the south. That's Nika's main homeland. Yeah, the Kingdom of Sprin. Yeah, not even Artanis story's from. I know where Artanis is from. We've selected. Where's Spooky's homeland? I guess I should ask you, do you mean Spooky? Or do you mean King Gwynheim? Because, if functionally speaking, you guys are different people. Artanis is from a forest, correct. Which forest? Yeah, you guys are functionally different. And Spooky, I don't think you were on last stream where we talked about it, but Spooky Ghost, that character, technically speaking, is like I think it's, I have to double check. I gotta double check when a certain event happened. It's 300 or 400 years old. Yes, the empire called Zapian. There. But Spooky Scary Ghost came into existence at the death of King Gwynheim. There. Yes. Clues. You've got clues. You got clues, you got a mystery to solve. Yas, is it letting you in? I saw that you joined, but I don't know if you're, like, here exploring or something. Your silly game's not able to join? But why? Oh, that's lame. That's lame. I'm just happy that, like, I'm able to stream it, basically, this time. Compared to last time where it just wasn't doing anything. You need to find more games. Yas's like go-to game is you got Crypt of the Necrodancer. You guys should join in Crypt of the Necrodancer. You know what? I'll throw it out there. If Mora and Lady play Crypt of the Necrodancer, we'll do 4-party Crypt of the Necrodancer. Okay, play DST. Yes. I mean, you guys do also all play DST. Has Mora been around for Super Auto Pets? I actually don't know if Mora has joined us. I don't think Mora's joined us for Super Auto Pets. Alright, let's see if I can get that squid. An opulent walleye. Ooh, wait. This game is actually just a secret gacha game. DST win? I mean, it's whenever you guys decide to play it. I won't be playing it. But it's whenever you guys decide to play it. You guys can play it. You guys can do whatever you want. Alright, let's sell all these fish. Nice. I broke $10,000 in my pocket. And I'd like the squid license. Thank you. Squidders. Alright, now what? Sure. You know what? I'll upgrade. Let's just see what I get. Down payments. Yay! Camp Tier 3. Ah, I've unlocked a new private island prompt. Oh, I got my private island now. Alright, 10,000. Wow, that's big monies, but I wanted it mostly for this. So I gotta get this bait type. Got it. Scroll down for more. Okay. Also, fuck, that's a lot of money. Also, it requires one catch of each creature in the journal of any quality. Do these rods even do anything for the greatest of the greats? Yeah, okay. Not really. We've gotten these. Ooh, where do we got here? Large lure. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta get that one. That's probably next. Higher catch chance. Higher chance of catching greater tiers of fish. Chance to consume extra bait. Oh, yeah, we want the sparkling lure. Double hook lure, 2 fish. Low chance of doubling fish on catch, chance to consume extra bait. Yeah, all these consume extra bait. On catch, small chance to summon a tiny rainstorm above you. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I want to get this. I want to get the large lure. We gotta get big fish. There are other towns in the tundra. Yes, of course. Squid now. Let's get some squid. Huge swordfish. Alright, drink my cola. Bam! Squid bait. Let's see if I get some actual good stuff now. I do like I like Super Auto Pets. I've actually played the recent update too, and it's different. It certainly is different. It's hard to get used to on there because I have to actually read things and not just go off of instinct where I'm like, oh yeah, I just buy this and I just do this too. I actually need to reread it. But I love deck building games. There. That's why I like Balatro, which I hope wins Game of the Year. I don't know if they've announced Game of the Year yet. You could tell how in it I am. We've also been talking about doing Minecraft again. I think it would be funny for us to have one role-playing session in like Minecraft, but that does require quite a bit of work. But I could see doing it. That would be kind of fun. We could have like everybody just plays their characters and stuff. You hope Elden Ring wins again? I mean, that would be funny. It would be funny. I genuinely don't think it should. Like, I haven't played the other games, so I can't really speak to it. I want Balatro to win just because, one, I've played it and it's a good game, and two, because I want to see an indie game win, right? Arcane one game adaptation. I mean, there's no way Arcane couldn't. Honestly, there's no way Arcane couldn't. There. But I would love to see that. Your Minecraft skin is almost naked, stole us. So we have to change it. I mean, it's fine. Oh, yeah. Oh, Crypt is so much fun. Here's the thing. I love roguelikes. I love deck building. That's why Balatro really hits my jive. Also, I kind of want to play the new Binding of Isaac update. I haven't played Binding of Isaac. It's that time of year again. It's November. It's time for me to play Binding of Isaac, guys. It's past November. It's December. I've missed a whole month. Wait. First, the one episode Splunky adaptation? Because I haven't seen it. Welcome back. Rhythm is cool. I mean, here's the main thing about the rhythm is that you just have to play in beat, right? Like that's the most thing about the rhythm on it is you're taking actions in beat. And that's about it. Nine Souls. Yeah, Nine Souls looks cool too. From what I've seen. Big fish, please? No, it's just another glistening bowfish. I've got this fucking squid. I expect to catch a kraken. Oh my gosh. There we go. I mean, I'm getting some rarer fish, so I can't be too upset about that. Lots of glistening fish. And rank 19. Yeah. Nine Souls is very good. There's an auto-click? What? What do you mean there's auto-click? What is that? What is auto... Wait. I've been missing clear key settings. What? Controls? Where do I go for it? There's a kiss button. I forgot. Oh, there's a bark and meow button. I always could forget. The game will auto-click for you instead of spamming it. Will it? I thought I had to, like, spam click on those walls. If I just leave it clicking, does it do it? I guess I'll just wait. No, it's not doing it. Or... maybe I could just look in settings real quick. I have to. Oh, it is a setting. Okay. Where is it? MISC? Is it credits? Why is there credits slightly big and I can zoom it like this? Controls, main. Let's see. Griefable? Allowed. Allows or disallows being affected, punched, or knocked around by other players. That's an important piece. Toggle sprint? No. Disable chalk. I don't care about chalk. Catch bell? I don't know what that means. Also, somebody sent me mail and I forgot about it. I'll check it in a minute. Where is it? These are inputs. Where is it? Okay. You've been playing Vintage Story? What's Vintage Story? Oh, autoclick. Sure. Confirm and apply changes. It makes it even less of a game. It's fine. It's funny. Oh, letter from Null. View. Water. Time to drink water. Thanks. Fuck you. Thanks. I appreciate it. Wow, that's a lot of water. Holy shit. What the fuck? There's so much water. Drink to revert your size to normal and lose your buzz. But what if I want my buzz? Cosmetic white tank top. Battle cats. We still need to do true call. We need to find still an MMO where we can fuck around. Not a long-term MMO. Like a single session where we can find something there. But pinning instead, that's funny. Very cozy survival game. I like that. That's fun too. Well, and that's the other thing about that Infinity Nikki game. That it looks like it's just kind of a cozy game. Oh, you sent gift? Yes. Just fucking get in my line, you dumb fish. Alright, well, if you're not gonna come on, I'm gonna... drink a little bit. Whatever happened to Red Realm of the Mad God? You know what? We just haven't played it. That's all that happened to it. We just haven't played it. I played it years ago, too. Is it boom? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I do like that. So I don't have to spam click. Check gift. Wait, did you... Wait, where? Where gift? I got a new friend request. Who's requesting me? I don't know who that is. Wait, I almost lost my fish. 1 second. Where did you send? Oh, I got lucky at your coin bag. Alright, go to mail. Alright, they really gotta fix this view. Speedo slurp, wolfish, tuna, food. Why are you sending me all this fish? But thanks. Thank you for all the fish. Ooh, rainbow trout. Freshwater, saltwater, misc. This is my journal, right? This is my journal. I'm on freshwater. There's one freshwater fish that I haven't caught. Okay. I haven't gotten to alpha yet. But there's one I haven't caught. It's lame. And then I got this stuff, but I don't know where it is. I have to keep exploring. You wish it was not too buggy? I don't feel like I've encountered too many bugs other than when we were multiplayer and we just kept disconnecting. I might be in the question mark zone. Oh. I don't know where that zone is. I guess there are secrets to this game I haven't even bothered to explore. Kind of bland. I actually don't disagree with you, Apple, on it. Like, I like the concept of it. But they clearly need more work put into it. For it to get there as well. Also, I like my MMOs to feel like MMOs. It's beta, right? They're still adding stuff. So, like, I'm excited to see what more they'll add as well. But I did feel like there was a lack of content, and there was, like, it was felt mono-directional. Does that make sense? Kind of like MMOs, you could usually go, like, there's 2 or 3 different paths you could take in an MMO. And yeah, I appreciate that. They're working on stability first. Oh, no, that's absolutely valid. And that's what they should do. Any dev should work on first getting the baseline features of the game, because adding content like quests and storyline and like even adding just monsters and stuff is usually the easy stuff. That's why in our game, right, I've been focusing on the skills. I've been focusing on getting some of these baseline features done so that we could just have a game. I also have no idea what's going on in Atlas at all, too. Quality of life updates. I mean, that's nice, too. Ooh, a 3-star fish. Carplunk. Oh, I got an opulent soda can. Okay. Why is my first 3-star I fish up in a soda can? Monsters are the easiest thing to make. I mean, yes and no, because you still have to program their logic. And, I mean, technically speaking, you have to design them, you have to do the art, you have to do the setup. Like, there's quite a bit to it. But, functionally speaking, once you have the baseline code and the design, yeah, it's easy to just, like, plop in new monsters and such. In like, quests, especially with how I assume they set up their quests, probably they could make, like, 10 new quests in an hour. Or more than 10, too. Ooh, a snail. Like, they could. Now, that's not their focus, and they want their stuff to be meaningful, right? And when you want meaningful stuff, you gotta think about it more. But, like, the functionality to do it, super easy. For them to add an NPC that already exists and have it say something different, super easy, because they already have the models, so they just place a new one down. Realm of the Mad God. I mean, yeah. Realm of the Mad God's just, like, easy to play. You know? You'd kind of dig in and you're just like, I'm playing this game and I'm fucking winning. Like, that's all it comes down to. Is that you're winning all the time. And I enjoy it. I enjoyed playing it for a while. But I also know that they made it isn't anymore. See, that's a bummer. See, it used to be you just drop in. I even played on the browser for a while. Like, you just drop in and just play. And there were the trains that were going around, the experience trains, or you just followed a big mob, just following the main road. It was a lot of fun. But that's a bummer. See, that's a fun part of a game, right? Is when you find these kind of components, you're like, what the fuck, dear? Did you just catch a whale? In this pond? That's the size of the pond? The dungeons are very hard and kill you. I mean, that's fair. And I can appreciate that content being more difficult, right? Like, it doesn't have to be, everything in the game doesn't have to be simple. But you do need to make sure it was on the bottom. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you to keep players engaged, right, you have to have challenge that makes sense. And then with each challenge, you have to have rewards that encourage the player to want to discover and experience the challenge. So that's where it just is important, right? You have to have a good dynamic of both. If you make a game too easy, players will leave just because they're not experiencing challenge and they can get through the game super quickly. If you make a game too hard, players will leave the game because they just feel like they can't make progress and they're not feeling satisfied. So you have to find the right balance. And honestly, the right balance is gradual progress. You always make the player feel like they're making progress. This game has it, right? It's very easy to play. The mechanics are simple. Everything makes sense. There are things to explore. There's multiple avenues to explore and do it on. And I'm making progress. Now, it's grindy, right? The kind of progress that I'm making is grindy on it, and it's entirely time-based there, which is not everyone's favorite there. It's good for a stream like this, but this is not a game that I would just play in my free time, right? Because I don't like the just grindy progress unless it's like a JRPG style game. I do enjoy grinding in those games for some reason, but I feel like there's just more clicks on it. You sent whale. Why'd you send me the whale? I mean, I appreciate it. But why did you? It's your whale. I want to fish an opulent tiny walleye. How many? I got 2 more. Well, thanks for the whale. Beep. I'll accept a whale. I gotta sell all these waters. Oh, I have all these pouches. Don't favorite this. Open them. Oh, no, they sell. I'm so dumb. That's fine. Alright, 2 more, and then I'm gonna go sell my stuff so I can hopefully get that giant bopper. Or the I should probably get the shiny one. Should I get the shiny one or the big one? What do you guys think? I'm thinking the shiny one. Because I want more shiny fish. That's the money fish. With squid bait now, I should be able to catch some more. I don't know what your guys' philosophy is on these sorts of games where you have certain choices that you're able to make on certain items to get, but there's clear choices that once you get there, like getting the squid bait right, you're going to unlock new tiers of unlocking, which makes other things faster, right? I have in games sometimes intentionally waited to buy things just on the basis that I know, like, if I save my money just a little bit longer, I can get like this bait and now everything else will be easier to buy. Like in the Lego games, it was very common for me, just when I play, I just save all my money until I could get the ×2. Like, that's what I would do. Or even other times, I actually think I pieced it together, I would save for the ×4 before buying the ×2. Alright, I'm gonna restock there, and let's see how we did. Oh, good. That's good money. How do I sell, like, the other stuff? Like, the infinite water that's now in my inventory. Alright, I think I'm gonna get the shiny one. I think I'll get the shiny one. Should I get another one? I think I'll also get the large lure, just to have it. But let's do attractive angular, attractive one. Yes. Oop. My wife's trying to get the dog in right now, and thus, yeah, I'm feeling the cold, and I'm like, I hope it'll close it soon. It's cold out. All right, let's get there, and let's hope this we get. Ah, fuck! I drowned myself. Oops, I'm just drinking more. You didn't want infinite water? No, I didn't necessarily want infinite water. Okay. That's realmi.com pet families. Oh, yeah. I remember, yeah, because you could get little pets following you, right? Yes? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's just a 1-star. I mean, I'll admit that I'm getting starred fish. I haven't gotten any not starred fish since switching to squid lure bait. You play Roblox just to speak French to other people? I mean, that's fun. I've been trying to learn some more languages, and it's not formal yet. Still trying to figure out stuff. Ooh, look at my experience. I'm gonna get a level 20 soon. In German. Used to be purely cosmetic, but now the healing and MP restore abilities. Oh. Yeah, Realm of the Mad God, it is a cool game. I liked the just your top down, rolling around and killing everything. And you're shooting your weapons out, and you're just and that was it. It's a bullet frenzy game for sure. You know, a roguelike I haven't played a lot of. I have it, but I haven't played a lot of it. Enter the Gungeon. I feel like I would enjoy Enter the Gungeon some more. It's not going to be in my top because, once again, I still have to be dexterous, but it's still fun. Okay, okay. Fish and drink the wine. You want me to drink all the wine? Oh, there's so much wine. Let's see here. Gungeon is bullet frenzy roguelike. Yeah. And Enter the Gungeon, and I've played a little bit of it, too. And I'm like, it's bullet friendly, it's roguelike. Like, I love roguelike games. So, like, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. I just haven't dug as deep into it there. Because here's the thing about all roguelike games. You have to focus on it. Like, you can't just play it once and then be gone with it. You have to keep playing it. So you can improve. And when you stop playing it, you kind of lose your base level of skill, and you have to play, like, relearn. Like, Binding Isaac was that way for me. Like, I would play it, and then I stopped for, like, a while. I'd come back, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. And a huge part of it is you're learning the items, you're learning the strategies, and you're just having, like, innate memory about it. And that's where, like, Blatro works well for me because I could stop and go at any time, which is nice. I mean, Binding Isaac has that save feature too, but I also have time to just think through my stuff, which is a lot of fun. Spelunky 2 is multiplayer. Ooh, that's actually surprising. I didn't know that. I know Binding Isaac's most recent update, they made it up to 4 player multiplayer, which sounds sick as fuck. Like, that sounds cool. And that's also where I like, I mean, it's not really roguelike, it's deck building, but, like, you know, Super Auto Pets is fun because it's multiplayer. Rare. Ooh. Super active. I mean, I like active games. I want to get to rank 20. We're going to get there pretty quick, too. It does. It makes any game more fun. But that brings in the concept that gaming is a shared experience, right? Deer is drunk. Like, gaming's a shared experience like anything, and it's always better to share your experiences with others. Like, let me phrase it another way, too. How fun would the tabletop game be if it was played by yourself? How much more fun is it? Not only do you have your group of people that you're playing with, but you also have a secondary group that's just as invested. Yeah, now to get dug into the tabletop game, it's completely allowable. And like I showed you guys, too, if you guys want to do things like gambling or getting drunk or these kind of like games, I will find ways to introduce it into the system too. Like, and I'm not just trying to cheat you. I'm gonna like introduce NPCs and things like that. That just makes sense. All right, it was a glistening something. Spelunky 2 multiplayer is fully cross-platform. See, that's also something that's huge to me, is cross-platform. Cross-platform works well, and I like it for playing with my kids. Like, that's why I play Bedrock Minecraft right now. Not because I want to, but because that's what I can play with my son. That's why I can play with my niece and nephew. There. I don't really play with them, but that's what I can do. Because it's available in that way. Oh, man. Try again. Oh, immediately caught something. There. Has my kid killed the wither? Technically. Since I've introduced my son to, like, creative and stuff, he's actually, I have to admit this, he is starting to build things that are getting beyond my skill level in Minecraft. Like, not fully, but he's got concepts that I'm like, I wouldn't have considered building it that way. But he plays exclusively on creative, which is good. He's 5, right? You know, that works fine for a 5-year-old. And he'll play survival with me, but he doesn't like, he just want to die. He doesn't want to lose his stuff. And I'm like, that's entirely valid and fine. There. But on creative, he creates really sick castles and really cool stuff, and I'm impressed. Right now, his current project is what I best could describe it as the hanging gardens. He's making his own hanging gardens. He's made the roof that's like leaves. He's built like these chains with lanterns on it. I'm like, you know what? It's pretty cool. It looks good, and he's done a good job on it. So I'm proud of that kid. But he has beaten the Wither in creative mode. He has also pit the Wither against a Warden too, and watched them fight, and then fought them too. You need to play with your dad. Help! How can I help you, dear? You're drunk. Do you need water to sober you up? Oof. Glistening carp. How lucky. You're drinking the pond. That's true. Drinking the pond water. You should get Minecraft. I mean, it would be interesting, but it also, like, it does require a bit of setup, because we kind of gotta, like, build a town or build the encounters. And then on the same note, I've been thinking about, like, multiplayer, and I'm like, how does that, or not multiplayer, combat? I'm like, how does combat work in this? So it's kind of hard. You wish you knew anybody that actually plays Plucky 2, because the game's not, like, good as hell. Yeah, I feel that with you, Apple. Sometimes it's a bummer when you have a game that you really like, and you're like, but I'd love to play with other people, because once again, multiplayer makes it better. Has he done Redstone? My son has done Redstone. He's not doing anything super complicated, but he has some basics down. He's still figuring out some stuff, but I've shown him some things too, and he likes to copy what I build on it as well. So he's figuring it out. He's been really enjoying the creaking, which is a new update. Multiplayer always makes it better. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, I know, just to build the town in an area. Like, I would actually love to do something like that, but here's the other side of it, too. I just pointing this out. It would be difficult as well for me to roleplay all the NPCs, and a lot of these towns would start to feel empty, even if we put mannequins and whatnot on it. I don't want it to the world to feel empty to you guys. Like, I want it to be interactive. I want it to feel like it's a full, cool world. But it's like, I'm not gonna go hire 20 people to play characters for our role-playing game. But it would be sick as fuck. And then the combat is the other thing that's hard, because it's like, we have kind of turn-based combat. Like, sure, you know what would be even cooler if I could build, like, the skills. Maybe more like one shot. I could see that. There. Maybe experience the campaign through eyes of the one shot. And it would be kind of fun to mod it and then, like, have some of the skills in game too, because that would be cool. But then, like, we're talking, I'm just building a whole nother video game, and obviously I don't have the time for that. Oh my goodness. Kids got me up early this morning. Ladies-based Terraria. Yeah, Terraria, so, yes, Terraria has some pretty good creativity options, and yeah, because it's 2D, it's a little bit easier, but I've seen some insanely impressive stuff, because it's not just 2D in Terraria. There is layering, and there's technically, like, the primary 2 layers, but there's also, like, 3 layers in Terraria, and combined, oh god, this is the biggest fish I've ever caught. 4 stars. Nice, nice. What do we get? What do we get? It was a radiant crab. Arg. I did it. I caught my first 4-star and ranked me up. All right. This is actually, I've got one more bait. So let's do this first before I go sell my stuff and upgrade things. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've seen some insanely cool builds in Terraria that look 3D because people are just, you're able to be creative with it. That's actually sweet. Oh my gosh. I also did, like, the TTP Arch Games events through the eyes of NPCs. Yeah, basically. You have an idea? Oh, that's it. Game events through the eyes of NPCs. That would actually be kind of funny. Except, we also have to consider that it would be a little boring. Because most NPCs are powerless, and they really can't do much. So playing a game through a character that just can't actually do anything can be quite boring. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is another big one. I might not be able to... Okay. Wow. I like this. I like the big clicks. 4-star? Damn. What do we got? What do we got? It's an actual fish. It's a radiant large pike. All right, let's go. Scroll up for more. I caught an eel. All right, let's go in here. I should random up some nobody NPC. That would be funny. All right. Buy this and sell all. Oh, wow. I did not get as much money as I thought I would. I guess it's fine. I don't care about rod speed. I get a little bit further before I can upgrade those. I also need to get 15,000 and then I can get this. You know what? Maybe I'll save my money. Yep, maybe I'll save my money. Have I seen Razum? You want to eat a burger with him? Have I seen Razum? Like, I mean, I have Razum built. I have his character sheet and everything ready to go. His nickname's Rizum. Totally not looking for him. Have you seen the Razum? Razmadaz? I hear he's a fun guy to hang out with. Oh, it's a big gator. Oh, it said it was a small one, though. An opulent small... Oh my god, my experience is going way up on some of these fishies. Razum-dazum. Rizzler. Whip, 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 whip. Whip, 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 whip. Come on. Come on, baby. I'm gonna go for the Nautilus. I just gotta get 10,000 more monies. Gotta get some rare fishies and alligators to put straight in my backpack. Yeah, Whisper knowing who you guys were looking for is really not surprising. Like, pretty much anybody could tell you there. I got a shiny perch. I mean, I've heard of that achievement, Apple. And yeah, that does sound hellish. Like, it's super hard. Actually, in, what is it? Crypt the Necrodancer, there's a character that dies instantly if they pick up money. Which, for context, is very hard because every single enemy in the game that you kill drops money. And you all of a sudden have to coordinate where you kill things so that you don't make too many spots where you can't go anymore. Because now you're just making dead areas, like insta-death. His advantage, his only advantage, is that he gets one free item from each shop. And that's it. The eggplant run? I have never heard of that. It's not worth. I mean, it's all for the achievement, right? To just show that you could do it. Fire. It was free. Yas, when I read that at first, I'm like, did they fuck up something in the eggplant run? Oh, it was fire. Oh, I got you now. That was by just reading. I'm like, oh, I understand. It was really cool. What is this? God, I hate these people messaging me so late. This is just so much to keep track of. Oh. It's weird. I haven't worked with an international company before, so it's weird getting messages at like 9 p.m. from people that are clearly just starting their day to teach you how to be subtle. There are so many ways you guys could be subtler. But I think the bigger is, and I don't know, I'm not trying to trick you or anything, but you just got to be careful which NPCs you tell which information to. Don't freeze fountains. Step 1. I mean, you guys don't have the subtle party. Your characters are not the sneaky type. Alright, let's get some more fish. Some more fishies. That's fair. But, you know, there are more than just humans everywhere, dear. I know I make a lot of humans, but, like, Whisper's an elf. Human smelly. There we go. I should make a mod that lets me throw the fishing line into the ocean from here. Like, I just aim towards the ocean, hold it, and then you could see the line go all the way over there. Increase throw distance by 4,000%. You do gotta make me more furry NPCs, that's true. If I have more, then I'll use them. There we go. I saw a TikTok, I didn't share it. They were talking about, a guy was asking about the amount of lumens that came from like a certain spell. And they're like, oh, it is pretty bright. And he's like, all right, I move towards it. And somebody's like, you're a fae. What do you care about the lumens? He's like, I'm not actually a fae. I'm a moth. And he's like, I go towards the firelight. Because is moth. And it cracked me up so much. And I'm like, alternate creatures. Laris, don't go to the light, Laris, stop. And I'm like, I appreciate the level of questioning they had. Let's pull this in. Give me a good one. Give me good fish. Future apple. It wasn't a good fish. Let's see. Alright. I think that's going to be it for tonight's stream, folks. I think about covered everything here. Let's, before we start end the stream though, let's look at one trailer to see if we should play this game because I know nothing about it. Let's see. Let's see here. Infinite Nikki. Let's see what this game is. Should we do debut trailer? Let's do release story. Trailer.
The Feywish sprites who reside deep within the forest collect people's wishes. They long to find the most special
Okay.
wish.
The most
and
special
offer it
wish.
to their god.
But the god had already gone.
Oh. Okay. Brutal.
The Wishing One has been gone too long. We lost our way, fell silent.
I'll tell you what wishes really are. Paths drawn by the coin flipper, who forces us to follow them.
When people were struggling,
Where were they when the light was
Oh, he's got like origami
Where
birds.
were they then?
it appears fond of you. More than I expected. Nikki.
Nikki.
What is all of this?
Go experience the world. Find your strength. Perhaps you'll find the answer to the miracles.
Ooh. So this is who you play. You play this girl.
Let's just think of this as a graduation trip.
The Orion vase is a divine relic left behind by the Wishing One.
The wishing ones.
Exist to serve me!
You have no right to manipulate people's wishes. Maggie!
Is it you who awakened me?
Give up!
You got little fairies fighting big flowers. Available on multiple platforms.
I'll make miracles happen.
Hmm?
I'm Nikki, a stylist.
A stylist.
Best stylist ever.
Okay. This is a game.
Long ago, the Wishing One sealed part of his
It's
power
like
here.
open world.
It became the Arosa. Thank you for making the Arosa bloom again.
I've just been seeing quite a bit about the game, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll play it. It's free, so there's literally no harm in trying it out. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. There is lots of Fae. Oh, man. All right, folks. That's going to be it for tonight. We'll be back on Friday playing new tabletop economy. That'll be what we're playing. We're doing new economy gameplay. And that's going to be it. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see there. Maybe I don't know. I'll think more about the Nikki game and we'll see if we play it. Save and quit to desktop. There we go. Close. Yeah, I'll think about it, but we'll get there. Yeah, taxes. Now there's going to be taxes. Adventurer tax. No, we'll be good. But I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their week, and we'll see you on Friday. So, bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to go over here. Should I PewDiePie you guys? Gonna be like, all right, bros. Bro fist. All right, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later.